Hoka, hey, and good day, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita Livestream of July 16th, 2021. Happy birthday, Rosa, and general Alita discussion, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the desired sequels. I am your host, the Muskogee Creek, from Denver, Colorado in the United States. Our co-host is Angelus. He's from Brisbane and Queensland, Australia. And our regular guest is Max Tack Jirai. He's from Sydney in New South Wales, Australia. How's it going, guys?
G'day, mate. Jink.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, no. I take that back. Maxi Pad.
Maxi Pad.
Whatever, Davo, whatever.
Davo, yes. So anyway, well, today's a special day, you guys. You know, today is Rosa Salazar's birthday, and we had a mass tweet today. And how many tweets did we get, Maxie? Are you aware you or Angela either one?
No, I don't know. I was trying to work out how to find out, but we didn't have Foxfire. He normally has all the figures on this stuff, but I didn't see anything from him, so I don't know.
Yeah, I invited him, so hopefully it's pretty late there, you know, I guess, in Europe. Go ahead, Angelus.
I was going to say that I'm pretty much in the same boat because I'm not signed up to any Twitter analytic sort of programs or apps or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'd seen you know, I guess a DM, it was in the, you know, one of the group chats there that said that I think it was between Vladi and perhaps Finestro or Finn Berserker or Finn or whoever he is. He changes his handle all the time. But there was an estimate of 3,500 tweets, but I can't imagine it's that low. Seems to me it'd be higher than that. But you know, and I know there was a lot of action on Facebook. I got on that today, and there was a lot of Rosa Salazar birthday stuff going on there too. You know, so. But anyway, you know, welcome aboard, everybody, to the stream, I guess. And I put a link in the chat. If anybody wants to come on, just click on that link. Don't be afraid. You know, we're real friendly here. We don't bite, you know, and, you know, we just love to have you on. So anyway, I wanted to say one thing about the video. You know, I put that video on. I guess I made it public late last night just before I went to bed. But I actually got a dislike on that video, and it strikes me it's somebody that's one of those haters, you know, and that kind of bugs me, you know, that somebody cannot wish somebody as genuine and as nice and pretty as Rosa Salazar, you know. But anyway, it is what it is. So I just wanted to bring that up. So.
Go check out the video, and if you accidentally misclicked, you can still go back and change it.
Yeah. Yeah, the video was a lot of fun putting it together. And I guess, Maxie, if you want, we can play that again tomorrow at some point. You know, if you want to put it on there too. So
probably
yeah.
A good idea.
Yeah, you know, just to let everybody know that we're thinking of Rosa. She's our queen, you know. So you know, and today's her birthday, and then tomorrow we'll be celebrating her belated birthday. So you know, that kind of thing. So it's a great thing, you know, that I think she's 36 now. I'm not sure about that, but I think she was born in 1985. So.
As far as I'm aware, I saw that listed.
Yeah, exactly. So,
crap, that means I'm 39 this year.
Yep, you are. And Creaky's 1,000,002. So.
Yeah, I've got friends in North Carolina that say that I've actually eaten dinosaur eggs. So so I'd have to be at least 65 million years old to do that. So, you know, it's
so
one
you
of
were
those
born
things.
during the Jurassic or Cretaceous? I can't remember. I get this.
It'd have to be the Cretaceous, I think.
Okay.
You know, first human on the planet. Not really. So anyway, you know. So how you guys doing? How's you still in lockdown there, Max Tack, down there in New South Wales?
Yeah.
Or?
Yes,
oh yeah.
And Angelus, you guys are not having that much. You not have that many infections, do you? Right there in Brisbane, is that right?
We're not too far behind, actually. Like, we're not on lockdown, but the restrictions are still in place.
Yeah.
You still have to wear a mask, which is fair enough.
Well, what's happening? What's happening with the vaccine thing there? I mean, holy moly!
They're a bit slow with it.
Yeah.
There was a problem in that they backed the wrong horse, and they backed AstraZeneca, and then they said, "Oh, you can't give it to younger people," and that's where all the infections are happening at the moment. So,
that's too bad. Are both you guys vaccinated, or either of you?
I'm fully vaccinated.
Nice.
But I'm still being bloody careful.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You know,
my wife had her first vaccination on Thursday, so she's feeling a bit blue.
Yeah. Yeah, I know when I had my second vaccination, I didn't have any kind of reaction to the first one. The second one, I was a little, I was fatigued the next day, but, and it wasn't anything major. I mean, it was the day after that on Monday, I was, I actually got my vaccinations both on Saturdays. So, but anyway, it is what it is. Enough about the vaccinations. I guess we want to talk about Rosa. And, Rosa, of course, today's her birthday, and just really, we are so fortunate to have Rosa to portray Alita. She did a bang-up job. I think she didn't get all the respect she deserved, and we just want to wish her well and all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, here's kind of a synopsis. This is not all of the movies and TV series she's been in. I had to cut it off because I was running out of room on the slide. But she's been in a lot of stuff and has been really active the past several years. And you can see she's been in at least 6 or 8, movies or shows, actually 10, I guess, almost, since she portrayed Alita, And I know that I put Divergent down there at the bottom. There was like several between Divergent and Chips, but I put that down there because I remember seeing her in that. I saw that movie, and of course I saw that Star Trek short, and that was pretty neat. I like that. And I've even seen some of that. What is it called? College Humor? Is that what it was called? I can't remember now. I saw some of that.
Yeah, there's one for Cranberry. Good Crazy Short.
Yeah, you're lucky she's not coming on there, Angelus.
There could be a reason for that.
I'll try my best to get her on.
Yeah. Oh, and I wanted to tell Maxie I read 2 more of the of his flanfic, So
you read 2 more chapters.
Yeah, I finished 4 day before yesterday, so. It's pretty good reading. I think it's really good. And I really like that. You probably saw my comment. I really thought it was a neat touch to have that thing, have the Alita Army in there. That was pretty cool. I loved it, but I don't want to spoil it. I have to
get us in there somewhere, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So anyway.
You wait till later. Ooh.
Okay.
We're gonna show up again.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, a little later on, I'll put the link, in the chat too. If anybody's interested in actually, they want to see it, they'll have the link. So, that'll be something I'd highly advise you check it out. I mean, it's true to the manga actually, So, I think Maxie.
Well, I'm trying to write a sequel, so it needs to. Be true to the way the original was presented.
Yeah, it's kind of a combination. Yeah, exactly. So,
but it will deviate a little bit just because I'm following what they've set up in the first movie, which deviated a bit from the manga. So, yeah,
exactly. So, yeah, because I think one of the things they're going to have a problem with if Disney was to put. If they were to put Mars Chronicles, for instance, as a, kind of like a series on Disney Plus, I think they might have a little issue there with how things end on the Mars Chronicles and what's inferred in the movie itself. Because what goes on in the manga there is different than what you think it is when you see the movie. And I remember reading that and saying, oh crap, holy crap, you know. I mean, it was really an eye opener at the end there, you know. But so it'd be slightly different. So anyway,
yeah, I think that a lot of that, well, I call it creep factor, would probably have to be rinsed out of the fabric of the movie, because it would put a lot of people off. I think. A lot of
I think so.
Creek factor.
No, creep
factor, not creek.
Yeah, the creek. The creek would love to be in the sequel or the manga or in the series. Of course, they're not going to put me in anything like that.
You could play the guy on.
You could play Mateeg's great ancestor.
McTeague's ancestor, or say Figure 2, or something like that.
Where you got the guns.
Yeah.
During the motorball arc, she has a flashback to training on the slopes of Mount Olympus, and there's this old guy that looks like he's got a loudhailer attached to his face. And he's going rabbiting on about your personal technique. I think it translates to, and you could play that guy.
Yeah, I could play him. That's for sure. But if they let me do a mocap, I could play Figure 4. I'd love to do that, but that's not happening. So, you know, I already got a favorite for Figure 4. I want that to be Jason Momoa. Now, Den wants Keanu Reeves. So, you know, I have mixed. I mean, I like Keanu Reeves, but I have mixed feelings about that one. You know, he's certainly a good actor, but I just think Jason Momoa is a natural fit. That's my opinion. So anyway, you guys, Maxie, which of these, you know, these shows or movies have you seen that Rosa's been in?
Well, I feel quite bad looking at that list, because I've been meaning to try and catch her in other things, but I just haven't got around to it.
Yeah.
I've seen the Short Trick, obviously being a trick.
Yeah. Yep.
Which I thought she portrayed admirably, but there wasn't a lot of time to develop the character, and the character kind of got shafted. So, you know, but it makes up for it the number of times I've seen the one thing on that list that's highlighted. So
yeah. Did you see Chips or Divergent? Did you see either of those?
No, I haven't. But I know that Angelus has at least seen stills of Chips, because he keeps going on about a particular
scene. Yes, yes. We've discussed that scene in past streams. Divergent. She has a small role in that one too. She plays one of the soldiers. Can't remember the soldier's name now, but yeah, she plays one of the. Say again.
Because.
Okay. No,
that's a different movie.
Yeah. No, I can't remember her name in Divergent, but anything she's in, I think I'm going to like. So, you know, there it is. But I haven't really seen anything else. I've been meaning to see The Bird Box. You know, I've heard that's a pretty good movie. So, and I've seen bits and pieces of Maze Runner, but not enough of it to claim I've watched it. So I may watch that too, you know, so. Yeah, she plays a major character in that movie too. You know, so Angelus, which of these movies or shows have you seen? I know Chips is one of them.
Let's work on this. We got excuse me. We got B Positive, Star Trek.
Okay.
I want to see Undone. There's just nowhere to stream it from.
Oh, I've seen that. Yes, I've seen Undone.
Okay.
Undone was very good.
Bird Box I've seen. Maze Runner I've yet to see, but I can at least, because it's on Disney Plus.
Nice.
And California Highway Patrol I've seen.
Yeah.
Which is Chips.
Yeah.
I just went hunting for a brand new cherry flavor, but it's not out on Netflix yet.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, cherry flavor. That's
her,
Yeah, was that College Humor or something? Is that what it was called? College Humor or something like that?
It's similar to Saturday Night Live in the sense that it's just comedy sketches. And
yeah.
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of those sketches, you know. So she's really young in those. I mean, but you know, still good. So Okay, so anyway, I think that's pretty much all we want to devote to Rosa's career. I don't want to step on Radio Chaos too much today, just because of her, birthday and all that. But I certainly hope Rosa had a great birthday. That'd be really cool. She deserves it. So, any thoughts about that, guys?
Well, she should really come and have a chat to us about it. But
yeah, it'd be nice to get her on the radio.
Cutting cake.
Well, yeah, exactly. It would be nice to get her on the Radio Chaos stream. That'd be great, So I bet we're going to have to work up to that one, though, over a period of time, I think.
Oh, good pickup.
What's that?
Some account with about 40K followers called Elray Network just tweeted about not using our hashtag, but tweeted that they wish Rosa a happy birthday.
Oh, nice. So 40,000 people saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Rosa. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say even 4,000, 10% of that at any given time sort of thing, assuming that they're all sort of worldwide. Let's give it that sort of assumption, if you will.
Yeah.
But even 4,000 people would be a pretty big boost.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, I think I saw a lot of action on Facebook today, too. I got on there a couple of times. I'm not going to call this a mistake, but one of the things I did on Facebook is I joined about 8 or 9 different Alita groups. So now when I log into Facebook, you get the notifications. I have like 50, so I go through every single one of them, So, but I have to do that every time I log into Facebook. But it's all for Alita, so it's cool, But I do know that I think Rosa is actually, she shut down all of her social media. We know she's not on Twitter anymore. She's not on Instagram anymore. And I think I looked at her Facebook page and it says she's not on there yet, although the links are there, but she's not there. It's like she's shut down. She has nothing to do with social media anymore. So, and I hope that's not because haters are really getting on her too much, and she just, I don't need this shit, which I wouldn't blame her for that one, so.
Sorry, I'm just typing up a reply to it now as well.
Okay, well, I think we've stayed on that one long enough. So today, just for our general discussion, I guess, we just want to talk about Alita in general terms. By the way, Den may come on. I think he's traveling back from the Dominican Republic, and I think Chaos says in the chat that he's going to be on. So that'll be pretty cool. But if anybody wants to come on, there's the link right there. I put that in the chat, so you can come on and talk about Alita. And of course, David Watson says he doesn't say good day, but he says hello from the UK. So Rosa Army, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So anyway, Maxie, what's your favorite version of Alita? Which body?
Well, of what we've been shown so far, my favorite is the Pro Motorball body. That thing is sex on a stick. Like, it's the Ferrari of cyborg bodies. It's amazing.
Yeah, it does look good.
It's got it. I mean, sure, the Berserker body was really well done, but it just looks like people can cosplay it by just wearing a skin suit, and it just looks like a body, but it's made up of stuff other than what bodies are normally made up of. But the motorball body looks like a construction. It's got the joints and the connection points and the locks to quick unlock the arms off and the legs off if you need to change them out when they're damaged. And it looks like a NASCAR, and it's supposed to. And it reminds me of a NASCAR and how damn sexy those things are. The way they set them up with the paint jobs and the fancy hubs and the wheels and headlights painted and the whole box and dice.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the old Formula One cars. Formula One, or say the I guess the Indy 500 cars. Yeah.
I was just looking at that.
Yeah.
Vladdy will be salivating.
Yes, he will.
I think Alita is as well, by the look of it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's chocolate. So.
Yeah, that's right. Chocolate's going to do it.
Does the suit of clothes come with a little bar of?
I would assume so, because I mean, like the design is like literally and uniquely from Iron City, because like there's no other chocolate that has that.
Well, when she eats the chocolate, she's not wearing that get-up. She's wearing that's her evening get-up. She was wearing the stripy jumper.
Yeah.
Stripy jumper.
Yeah, but I mean,
yes, sorry, I'm being too specific. It's Finestro.
It might be.
Finestro.
I guess it's like one of the more popular setups, because you can notice that the wrist color is still purple, so it's still got the berserker body from the wrist up, but the hands are obviously the doll body.
I wonder if that was an oversight there. They forgot it was showing or something when they took the picture. So
I think it's I'd probably call it more of a concession, because I mean, they know that they can't make everything like uber ultra perfect, but I mean, they try their best, and well, I'm not complaining. And while people might have valid opinions, using the bust as an example, small details like that, especially when they go to so much effort with the doll hands, at least, especially the fact that they throw in like a little bar of chocolate as well, that tells me that as a company, like whoever made this sort of addition, if you will, knows that the fans like would get the reference. At least they get the reference for the bar of chocolate. They get the reference with the specific design of the actual clothes, because that's exactly what she's wearing during the bar fight scene, sort of thing.
Yeah,
but she doesn't eat the chocolate. Then she eats the chocolate during the thing where she's wearing something different.
Yeah, but I noticed she's got the Damascus blade.
The sword then either.
Yeah, she's got that Damascus blade there, and she's got her doll body hands. So that's kind of a little bit of a incontinuity, I guess, or incongruence or whatever. So because she never had that Damascus blade when she had the doll body. So, but anyway, it's okay. She still looks good. Yeah.
Technically, she had it for like a split second before she threw it away again.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she did.
She spent a lot of time throwing it away.
Yeah. Well, she still had it at the end of the movie, so
perhaps her boyfriend wouldn't have been so gutted if she had hung onto it.
Yeah, that's right.
Pun central.
I'm on fire.
Yeah.
Anyway, stop sharing.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a good share though.
Yeah,
you might want to put that in the show notes for tomorrow.
Yeah, put that in there tomorrow. By the way, Angelus, Maxie, you're going to be the host tomorrow, right?
That's the plan, unless something happens to me between now and then. But that's why I have a backup.
Yes, and I'm going to be the stream manager to give Tony a break.
That's why Angelus has a backup when he's hosting.
Yeah, that's right. Although about 2 or 3 weeks ago, that backups business didn't work too well, did it? So anyway,
when you ask the verbal host to do the technology side of things at 7 a.m. in the morning on a Sunday, I just don't think it's going to work so well.
There's going to be too much chaos.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Angelus, what is your favorite version of Alita?
Busy the chat. What's going on?
All right, Diz, come on, man. Get on the stream. I sent you a link.
What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah.
That's my impression of Dizzy.
What are you bastards up to?
I can't do that Dizzy voice. That not because it'll be too much Southeastern American accent.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
nah.
Diz, I sent you a link, man. So get on, if you want.
He might need his morning constitutional first.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
Imagine us 1.0.
Yeah. I think Dizzy lifts weights too. I knew I liked him for some reason, so he does that. So that's pretty cool. And I think he was in the military too. So, which,
I believe he was.
yeah, he was in the Australian Army, wasn't he?
We have one of those.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
True.
Angelus, what's your favorite version of Alita? Which body?
Imagine us 1.0, because that's when we get introduced to that line of bodies, so to speak.
Yeah, 1.0 is pretty damn good. It's a shame it got
2.0,
retro.
2.1 were also pretty hot off the press, but I mean 1.0 is where it all started, where it really sort of rocketed her into the stratosphere of cybernetics.
She went Super Saiyan, did she?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, with 2.1, you could argue with 2.0 she was Super Saiyan. So, yeah, technically though, that's the other Alita, right? I mean, the Alita with the Imaginos bodies is the other Alita. So, yeah, not to spoil the original manga too much. There's a reason why that's the other Alita, and then there's another Alita. So, there's a reason for that. But
can't have too many Alitas.
Yeah, that's right. As we know, we had 12 of them. So, I was looking at the movie. Of course, I'm getting to where now I'm watching the movie once a week. But that one scene in there, and I noticed again. I put another video up about about her memories and stuff like that. But I noticed in the background, and I've seen this before, but I really paid attention to it this time, where in those two anti-grav, those zero-G chambers, there were, two others in each one fighting or training together. And they look very, very much like Alita. So I am wondering if that's AR2 and 3 and AR4 and 5. And I thought I might have seen AR6 and 7, but I don't think I did. I think that was just looking at AR4 and 5 again.
Well,
but
we've discussed this previously, and my theory is that if you're going to be mass producing TR cyborgs for battle, why would you go to the trouble of making them all look different?
Yeah.
If it's a mass production and you're replacing their face with an artificial face, just make them all look the same. And that's sort of a military thing, They put uniforms on people to tie them together and make them all look the same.
Yeah.
It's yes, exactly. So they're attempting to create a mass of the same thing, and the easiest way to do that when you're TRing all your soldiers, I mean, this is a specialist unit. Obviously, there would be rank and file, but basically, you'd make them all look the same on the face because it's cheaper and it creates that feeling of a wall of the same thing coming at you, which freaks people out. So I'm suspecting that Alita is number 99 and they all had the same face.
You're saying that? Are you saying that there's like a AR1 all the way through Alita's AR?
No. AR, no, you're confused.
Oh, that's the replicants. That's right.
AR is,
that's right.
The ground bureau's copies of Alita. That's in the manga. This is the military from the movie.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't be AR. They'd just be
other
special forces, berserkers, 1 to 99.
Yeah. So she was
called 99. I mean, in the military, they try and depersonalize often.
Yeah.
So maybe they didn't have a name. Maybe they just had a number. Yeah,
we talked about
99.
Yeah, we talked about that on the stream a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about Soldier. That Sergeant Todd. He had a name obviously, but his number was 3465. So and they did the same thing, and they even tattooed his service record and, his number and all that on his, on his cheek, and on his arm, they tattooed all the, all the engagements he's been in, that kind of thing. So, that, I guess that was kind of a deep, well, in a way that was kind of personalized, giving him those, but I don't recall Alita getting any kind of any of the Alitas, but I didn't see this in the manga where she got any kind of citation or medal for valor or honor or something like that.
I don't think there was time. There was like the big battle, and then everything.
And then that was that. But she was
MIA.
Yeah, that's right. But she was in the military probably 2 years before she ended up fighting on the moon and on Zalem. So, you would think maybe she got something, perhaps,
Well, awards and things are generally done to improve morale, and they're usually done in a lull between the fighting, but I don't think there was one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there may have been field commendations, but, proper award ceremonies and things.
Yeah.
Unlikely.
Yeah, Dizzy brings up that certainly she got that, ID, that ID badge or that, thing she got for becoming a hunter warrior, so we got somebody coming on with a question mark. Let's put them in here and see who they are.
Speaking of ARs,
did
Jeffrey finish that clock? Do you know?
I don't know. I know he's doing a commission for me. Jeff, you're out there, I think, still. He's doing one for me. I saw him in
text chat there at one point, but he's probably still working.
Yeah, so anyway, we've agreed on a price and, what the thing's going to look like and all that, and I'm going to be pleased with it for sure. So I'm going to hang that up in my bar because now I'm going to have the Kansas bar in my Denver home. So that'll be pretty cool. Yeah, it's going to be real nice.
Mr. And of course, question mark, who are you?
Yeah, I bet it's either Dizzy or
I'm putting money on Diz.
It may be Den.
It's Dizzy, Mike.
It's Den, yes. How's it going, Den?
Terrible.
Let me rephrase. I was going to rephrase that. How's it going? Question mark.
My computer is, I guess, decided to crap out on itself. So I'm on my wife's crap top now. The last 20 minutes have been dedicated to trying to get it to turn on. So.
Oh Lord, that was the Dominican Republic, man.
Hello.
Yeah, how was the Dominican Republic?
You keep cutting out. Say that one more time.
How was your vacation?
Probably on my end.
Yeah.
It was all right. There was one good day. It wasn't terrible, but I always had a problem with the concept of the vacation itself. Why do we have to leave the country to do shit that we can do in the country? I've never understood that. It's extra money
so I should come to Australia because
I know where this is going.
No, it wasn't bad. The people were friendly, but it's like the Dominican Republic is just Florida with a couple more Spanish people. That's it. It's the only difference.
Well, it looked from those couple of those shots you had there in the DMs, it looked like it was pretty nice country anyway.
Oh yeah, it's nice. Like I said, it's nice. I enjoyed myself. I had fun, but
yeah.
Did we really have to leave? Did I really have to go through customs twice for that experience?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you go to Straya, you got to go through customs, going there and coming back.
Yeah, it's like, and then the COVID test, because I can't get COVID in the 72 hours between the test and getting on the plane and flying on the plane. You know what I mean? But the whole thing is just dumb. But no, I had fun though. It was a lot more fun than I give it credit for. We did some waterfall jumping and all that stuff, and
nice.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's not like there's no waterfalls in the USA though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
It is what it is.
Hey, did you guys see on your local news about that guy who he was in a traffic jam for like an hour and a half, and he was stuck on a bridge, and he got the shits and jumped off the bridge into the water? And he got dragged
no.
downstream because there'd been a fair amount of rain around there recently. He got dragged downstream for a mile and a half and nearly drowned.
Oh God!
Wait, did he live?
Oh yeah, they hauled him out, but he was a drowned rat practically.
And so he lived. Is there any like permanent injury to this guy that we know of?
Well, there may have been some already because he jumped off a bridge.
Yeah,
Because he had the shits with a traffic jam. But
because I'm just saying, you know what I mean? The shits, like, think about it. Like, what was the probability of that happening to him in his mind? I guess he like weighed the options because I know what a traffic jam feels like, and that is infinitely multiplied by having the shits. So at that moment, you know,
no. That's Australian parlance. He didn't actually have the shits. When you have the shits with something, you're just really, really frustrated and annoyed. Not the literal shits.
That's not fun. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that guy. I want to have a beer with him. I need to like pick his brain about this. Like, how did it go? Like, was it worth it? Because now you're that guy. You know what I mean? Like, not only did you get rid of your shits in like the most natural way possible, going in a river, but you are now that guy. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think it's worth it for him.
I don't think he gives a shit.
And many people are that brave to get out of traffic.
Hi-yo.
What happened?
Yeah, I know in Germany they'll say if you drink bad beer, you'll get the shit.
Oh, it wasn't Florida. It was Louisiana.
Or as the Cajuns call it, Louisiana. You know what a Cajun is, right, Max?
I know Cajun cuisine. I think it's a French Southerner, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I've got relatives that were Cajuns. So I'm kind of a mixture of everything, actually. So
this is the dude.
Yeah.
I pressed the play button.
Oh yeah, that's taking a long time.
You know, there are people. There's a bridge called the Coronado Bridge in San Diego. They have people jump off that bridge, and they have people die somewhat frequently going off that bridge. So
now, is this like suicidal jumping, or is it like just because it's fun?
I don't know what it is. I don't know much about it. Probably maybe because it's fun, but they don't do so well. A lot of them. So. Because you got to remember when you go down there, by the time a real high bridge like that, you're doing 120 miles an hour when you hit that water. So, it's going to be pretty.
Yeah, that sounds like suicidal jumping. Is this me? Because you guys are breaking up like crazy. I'm going to reload.
I've been hearing.
It might be you because Creaky's coming in okay for me, as is Maxie. And even you're coming in clear. Like,
yeah, you're coming in clear.
Yeah.
For me, it sounds like it's mostly Creek that's messing up. I'm gonna
Creek's got his earphones on this time. Oops, we lost him. So
he did say he's going to reboot. So.
Well, just before we move off favorite motorball body, I'll show you how favorite it is. This is a worldwide exclusive, I should say. So.
Yeah.
Where are we? There we go. Share.
Yes.
There's Cranberry's latest efforts on my behalf.
Yes, I think. She showed us this, didn't she? After stream last week, Alita and Adjicutty. So.
But yeah, I like that body.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess my favorite body, because I haven't said what my favorite body is, but anything Alita's in, I'm going to like. So, there's that. But I think Imaginos 2.1 for me, because that is the most powerful body, and I guess I just like the fact that she's really powerful. She has a lot more abilities with that one. Well, Imaginos 2.0 is pretty close, but I guess the 2.1 is, she's in connection with Melchizedek and all that kind of stuff. So I think she's got more power. And I guess that's why I like Imaginos 2.1 the best. And I remember we had Mike Reyes. Well, you remember this, Maxie, but we had Mike Reyes on one time, and we were, he's never read the manga. And so what we told him, is that, Alita in her Imaginos body, particularly that 2.1 body, she's like Thanos level tough. I mean, she is badass in that body, and I think that's why I like the body I like her in the most, that last body that she goes off to Venus or whatever at the end of the, of the last order or something. So, and I'm not going to say anymore because it'll ruin it. So, oh, I am getting volume 7 of the Mars Chronicles week after next. So, can you guys get? Yeah, can you guys get volume 7 yet over in Straya?
Probably not, and it'll cost twice as much, or 2.5 times.
I don't think so because ours is. Oh, actually, no, July. Yeah, actually, we might be able. Let me double check.
Well, if you can't, let me know.
I keep on thinking
I'll
it's
get it
June
you.
for some reason. Angus Robertson.
Oh, David Watson had a good observation. Another reason why I like Alita in that version, that Imaginos 2.1, is she's got that tail, and I really like that tail on her. It's just to me, it's kind of like a sexy thing, hit that tail, But anyway, I don't know why, I mean, it's a tail for Christ's sake, or crikey, I guess. So, but yeah, I guess that's what I liked about it. So,
according to this, in 3 days.
Oh, nice.
We can pre-order it.
Nice.
Because it's dated as being published on the 20th of July, and obviously it's 17th for us today.
Yeah, if anybody wants to come on the stream, and I see Thora Soma's out there, lady, you can come on the stream if you want. Just click on that link. So anyway, waiting for Den to come back. I guess he'll be a couple of minutes. We can ask him what his favorite version of Alita, which body that she's in. But like I say, I like her in all the bodies. There's no doubt about it. I mean, one thing neat about the civilian body is, she sings in the Kansas bar and plays instruments and stuff. It's pretty neat, But still, the Imaginos 2.1 body is the best, most powerful, and I like that tail. So anyway, that's that. Okay, I guess the next question is anime, manga, or movie, Alita. Maxie, which one works for you the best?
Surely,
I guess you missed my BRB in the private chat.
Oh.
Oh well, so much for
Okay.
sneakily sneaking off and sneakily sneaking back again. Okay, so I'd have to say that my favorite is manga Alita. It's a tough call because there's things I like about movie Alita, which is Rosa's portrayal and a fantastic work Weta did, and that movie, it's one of those sort of magical things of storytelling that everything just came together right. And I know that there's people out there who will say, oh, the narrative doesn't flow and rah and this and that and the other. Yeah. But you can't look at the character of Alita and say that was done poorly. If you do, you're a fuckwit. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. It is one of the most well executed characters and one of the most well executed digital characters ever. And I don't think it's going to be surpassed even by Avatar 2. So, I mean, I have a unique perspective of having read the manga for so long. I appreciate the character to bits, and I'm sure other people do too. And there's manga purists out there who just won't accept things any other way. But being at the point of life where I am, where it's no longer there's one version of something and that's all I can deal with. I can't deal with them changing. I can appreciate different versions of all sorts of things now. I mean, manga Alita only pips out movie Alita because there's more of it, basically.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. How many times have you read the manga?
Oh God,
too many times.
I think I've read the OS like 13 times now.
Yeah.
I last order only 3 because it's so long. And I think 3 times for Mars Chronicles up to where I got up to, which is somewhere in 7 that I was reading online. There was a fan translation that they were doing. So the official translation will be interesting.
You see how close the fan. Yeah, by the way, Thor Sumish, you know, she put in the chat that she's sick, you know, and in bed. So anyway, lady, hope you get well soon. So anyway, oh gosh.
I was today years old when I when Rosa does the thing with her fingers and it looks like she's like rubbing the fingertips together like as if like, you know, money sort of thing. Yep. I finally figured out what that actually means, and that if you position like your thumb and index finger like sort of cross the way that she does it, it actually like the thumb and index finger form like the bumps of a heart, and that's what it actually is. Like it's meant to sort of like, you know, like the peace sign is, you know, the 2 fingers up sort of thing. The index and the thumb and index finger is meant to be the like the shape of a heart, or at least the top shape of a heart sort of thing. And that's what she's meant to, and that's like the message that she's putting forward, that she, you know, that she loves the movie, she loves her fans, she loves her job, she loves everything, she loves life. Rosa is love, Rosa is life.
Yes. Well, let me ask.
Rosa should come on the stream.
Well, she's sick, so she can't. So
no,
anyway,
Rosa should come on the stream.
Oh, Rosa. Okay, we said she. I thought you said about Thor. Okay, yeah, I guess we got Oliver Klosselhoff, which has got to be Den. Nobody else could come up with a name like that. So, and then Dizzy. How's it going, Diz?
It's close off.
Oh, excuse me.
It's close off.
Okay.
Well,
I love her clothes off. Yeah.
Have you like hacked into a secret camera in my room? Because that's exactly what's happening right now with me. I've got my clothes.
Yeah, that's a mental image I won't get rid of soon.
What do you got your clothes off for, David?
There's a pineapple near him. That's why he's naked. That's why he's naked.
He's about to do some pineapple.
Pineapple. Now there's pineapple juice.
He eats enough pineapple that it's probably
I'm juicing that pineapple. That's
Charlie Smith has a really good observation there, guys. 4,814 tweets.
That's enough to trend, isn't it?
Well, you know, it's funny. When I got on TweetDeck, because I had to work today and I couldn't just stay on Twitter, you know, so I did some, you know, put some tweets in TweetDeck, you know, but you know, there's a column in there, you know, for trending, what's trending. And, it, you know, Happy Birthday Rosa Salazar wasn't on there anyway, so it kind of pissed me off. So I sent Twitter, you know, a message saying, hey, how come I don't see something that's important to me in the trending column? You know, that's kind of basically what I asked them. They said, well, I got an email back from them, said, well, we'll give you an answer in 3 or 4 days or something like that. I say, okay, great. That's going to be real important to me 3 or 4 days from now. So anyway, So anyway, Diz, how's it going, bud?
Hey, good, mate.
Nice. So let me ask, I want to ask Dan and Diz too. I guess we'll start with Diz. Diz, what's your favorite version of Alita in terms of her body? Which body?
The doll body from the movie.
Oh, okay.
I just like the way it looks, man. It's just a work of art.
Yeah, it is actually.
You know, when she's on that operating table and the chest plate is off and you can see all the insides and the heartbeat, and there's nothing that beats that. It's unreal. Like Maxie was saying before, like it's the way that they made her in this movie, like it's just a visual effects masterpiece. Nothing will beat it ever.
Yeah, I think it is nice. That's for sure. Matter of fact, there's one shot of her when Ito is putting her together, you know, for the doll body, where they have that shot over his left shoulder, and you look at her face, that looks so much like Rosa. You know, I mean, you can see Rosa a lot in a lot of the different shots of Alita, you know, her face. You can definitely see it. But on that one particular shot, you could really see Rosa's face a lot. I mean, that looked like Rosa on that table to me, you know, which I thought was pretty cool, you know.
Yeah.
I bet I know what Den's, or I love her clothes off. I bet I know what his favorite body is. Yeah.
Which one is that?
Yeah, which body do you like? And let me take a guess. I bet you like Imaginos 2.1, don't you?
I actually was going to say, at the end of the manga, I like her human body because she gets boobs. And that's really important to me, to be honest with you.
You mean real boobs,
being
right?
Powerful. Real boobs, yeah. And hey, guess what? The critics are going to go fucking nuts about that if that happens in a movie.
Yeah.
They're not going to fucking like that part. But no, actually, I think I'm gonna go Imaginos 1.0 from the end of the first manga, not from Last Order, but for the end of the first manga. I like that one the best.
Does
just because of the design.
Getting dunked mean getting laid?
Is getting what?
Getting crushed.
Getting dumped and getting
laid.
Yeah, Thorasuma, lady, I love you. Well, I'll tell you.
I'm gonna say Imaginos 1 because I like that design a lot because his art style at the time, it was kind of like the tuned art style, and you know, she loses the metal things in her face, which I'm not saying I dislike those, I don't, but it just gives her a fresh look, you know what I mean? And I don't know, that's when all of her some of her craziest feats come in, like running near the speed of light, you know, that kind of stuff. I just really like that. She kind of had this Wonder Woman vibe at the end of the first manga. I don't know if you guys get that too, but I don't know. I just really like that version. Anyway,
Thorasuma, the creek does get around to doing some of this stuff from time to time. So, but it's funny.
What are you getting around to do, mate?
I get getting bumped. So anyway, it just really cracks me up.
Tired, does he?
Yeah, really.
I was just going to say, wouldn't it be cool if they went with the bioprint ending for the movie series? If it was Rosa without the no, I was going to say prosthetics, but no, it's the CGI. It was just Rosa at the end coming out of the bioprinter.
God, that'd be, man, I tell you, that'd be nice. It would.
Nude.
Yeah. Well, she had those strips of paper over strategic areas.
Lilu.
Yeah,
like Lilu. Yeah, like Lilu.
Well, if that happens, imagine the critics going, "Oh, geez, how much is that like Pinocchio?"
Yeah.
They're gonna exaggerate the size of Rose's breasts. The critics are gonna be, "Oh my God, she looked like Dolly Parton coming out of that thing. Holy shit!"
You know, Charlie Smith there is, I don't mean to call him Charlie. He might not like that. Charles Smith. You know, is kind of asking an economics question there about, you know, what do we think about Alita getting a sequel, you know, especially when it returns 20% of its production cost, which I think Alita did. I mean, matter of fact, way over 20%. It's probably, well, you know, when you count, you know, marketing, which they did a damn poor job of, it's still over 20%. You know, I would maintain it's probably 50%, you know, but what do you guys think?
Not every Disney movie gets $1 billion at the box office. That's a load of crap.
Exactly.
And they get sequels. So I'm sorry, that's bullshit. The big budget sort of tentpole ones, like MCU and Star Wars and stuff, where they've paid a stupid amount of money for the franchise and they've got to make that back. Yes, I agree. $1 billion is probably what they're aiming for. But for new IPs that, you know, they've had one outing and it wasn't even under their umbrella, the $1 billion is ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, here's the thing. So
stupid.
Alita was never really expected to be $1 billion property. Number one, you look at the way it was marketed and when it was released, it was pushed back and all that stuff. Because I remember seeing previews for it in like 2018, thinking it's going to come out the end of the year, and then it came out the next year because it was pushed back. And then there's also the fact that this is Rodriguez's most profitable film of his entire career, and he's had many sequels that shouldn't exist, like fucking Spy Kids sequels. You know what I mean? Like even as a kid, I didn't even watch that shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just. I guess I'm talking to the haters. It's asinine what they say about the movie's performance in relation to its sequel prospects, especially in this day and age where the film industry has, gotten a major dick flattening. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, Dizzy has a good point. Avatar did pretty well, I guess.
What old Charles is saying there, mate, about the $1 billion box office to get a sequel. Yeah, nah. What about Tron? It's pretty much on point. With Alita when it comes to what it costs to get made or what to get back.
Well, it's pretty similar, wasn't it, in terms of financials? Yeah.
And what about that other crap that they made with the big robots fighting? I forget what that one was called. They made
Pacific Rim.
Yeah, that's the
job.
Yeah.
Man, if we get a sequel on the tier Pacific Rim 2, we might as well just not get a sequel. To be honest with you, that shit was bad.
But then they thought that was good and made another 2. Fuck off.
They did? Holy shit, I didn't even know about those.
Oh, I like the Chinese chicken, that Jiang Tian or whatever her name is.
Everybody liked her. We
all
liked
that's right.
We can all agree with that.
Yeah, she was even in that movie, with Matt Damon where they're fighting those monsters. I guess the Great Wall. That thing didn't do very well.
I got the Great Wall in 3D. That was fun.
Oh yeah, it's a good. I enjoyed watching that movie.
It was good in 3D. That scene where they do that jumping thing down on the ropes, like they were hanging off the ropes fighting them. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I like that movie. So but to your point too, Maxie, I bought a 3D player, but I don't have a 3D TV, so now I got to get something that's 3D.
If you stare at the TV long enough, it'll turn 3D, mate.
Yeah, especially if I do what I'm not supposed to be doing. Oh, God.
Oh, Dave, you're a bit quiet over there, mate. How's that pineapple going?
Yeah, exactly.
I can hear the squishing, by the way.
Yeah.
I can hear that. I can hear the squishing and the meat slapping.
He's pineapple Corey. Give the guy a break.
Oh gosh,
this is supposed to be a PG-13 stream, David.
Yeah,
pineapple.
Oh, we've missed that fucking rating already.
that ship has sailed.
Yeah, it has
sailed. It was detonated and sank to the bottom of the sea some time back.
Yeah. This, Maxie, I always tell Maxie, he says that Radio Chaos is chaotic, man. No, we are, actually. Anyway, what about not being a superhero? I want to ask Dan about that first, because I know Dan is not a superhero lover. Maybe except for Man of Steel. I know you like that movie, which I did too. But, what is it about Alita not being a superhero that does it for you? I mean, in terms of how you like the movie or like Alita.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that it's necessarily not that she's a superhero that makes me like her. It's just that I've noticed that the things that I really have gravitated to have been not superheroes. You know what I mean? Because when you on the very, very face of it, you could call Alita a superhero of some sorts. She's powerful and fights bad guys. But I don't know. I just think that for me, it's a little bit more realistic and less gay. I don't know, like less Boy Scouty. Like I know Superman's supposed
wear
to
the
be
pants on the outside.
Yeah, outside. Like I don't know. I just like the Hunter Warrior thing better. Like I was reading the manga the other day, and how Ito was talking about how he does this shit because he fucking enjoys it. The Hunter Warrior thing, and he had some dude's head on the spike of his rocket hammer, and it's like. Yeah, that's kind of more realistic. The shades of gray thing.
That was the Romo equivalent in the manga.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's like I don't. It's not necessarily realism that I like, but I guess it just seems less, I guess, contrived. I don't know what the word is. It's just.
Well, the whole thing of Kishiro's writing is that everything was supposed to be grey. There was no good and perfectly good and perfectly evil. Yeah. People did shit because they wanted results in a particular fashion, and they didn't particularly worry whether their methods were good or bad. And Alita's one, during the Badlands arc, she wants everything to go white. She just beats the shit out of anybody who gets in the way.
Yeah, you can argue that she's actually a villain to some people in that arc. To some characters within that universe, she's a villain. And I'm really glad that for the film, they didn't put it through the lens of a Western superhero fans. You know what I mean? For Alita, they kind of did keep her pretty gray because her motivation for being a hunter warrior was pretty selfish. You know what I mean? It's like the same thing we got with Dragon Ball, right? They try to make him into a superhero, and Toriyama in Japan screaming, "No, Goku's not a superhero," and he actually made him a villain in some sorts in the later arc because of that. You didn't get that with Alita in the film, and I'm really glad they stuck kind of to that. They could have gone a little bit farther with talking about Ito's intentions, but that would have made the movie like 2.5 hours long, and they can't do that shit. So.
Yeah. Well, Thor Asuma
I think they wanted to make Ito actually a more likable character, a more fatherly figure.
Yeah. That's different in the manga. There's a good term right there. Thor Asuma came up for Alita as an anti-hero. I think she's more like that, I think, than she is a superhero because
she's leaning to the
she does have
an anti-hero.
Yeah, exactly. But she has superhero level abilities, but she's more like Deadpool, in that regard. She's, whatever works for her, and it's like you say, Dan, it's achieving objectives, I guess. So,
but even Deadpool is more of a superhero than both of these characters. You know what I mean? Deadpool still, goes out to fight bad guys, as opposed to, you say, like Goku and Alita. A lot of the time, especially with Alita and Goku, they're not looking to fight bad guys. They'll fight anyone. And some people on their list aren't necessarily bad guys. You know what I mean? They'll turn around and see a robbery happening and be like, all right, that's nothing. They'll turn their back to that and then look at Joshugan like, that's the trophy I want. Joshugan isn't a bad guy, but that was, who she wanted to go after. There's like one scene I can think of where Alita specifically sees something bad happening and had nothing to gain from stopping it. And that's and I don't stand by in the presence of evil scene during Motorball. You know what I mean? Every other scene, it's basically just the reason why she's fighting this person was for a personal reason. You know what I mean? That I can think of off the top of my head. And
that in that I don't stand by the presence of evil motorball scene is only in the original translation. They did not translate it that way for the Kodesha release. It's not in there.
Okay, let me go look at.
She does not say that. She just goes, "You're a cunt, die."
I like that better.
Well, she doesn't talk a lot, I mean, like for instance, in some superhero movies, they have some damn snarky phrase they say, or they do, they say something too, like Thor talking to Thanos when he's got him impaled with that axe, Alita wouldn't do that. Alita would have took his head off right then. I mean, it wouldn't have.
Superheroes have their heads planted firmly up their own asses.
Yeah. But if Alita had thrown that axe at him, even if she didn't get his head, she would have pulled that axe out immediately and cut his head off. Now Thor did cut his head off in the sequel, but
didn't he cry about it too? Like, didn't Thor get PTSD and get fat because he killed Thanos? Like, I don't remember specifically, but
that's right. That's exactly what he did. Alita. Alita
Thor couldn't handle that he didn't succeed
the first time. Yeah.
Well, no, the second time he didn't succeed either because killing Thanos didn't fix anything.
Yeah, that's right. He just pissed him off and he just wanted to kill him. So, but see, Alita, what I'm saying though, is that when Thor said, I told you what was going to happen, Alita wouldn't have said a word to him. She would just cut his head off. That'd have been the end of it. And there would have been no snap, had she been there, particularly in that, imagine it was 2.1.
I reckon Alita would have taken his arm off, personally.
Yeah, she might have done that.
The glove, take the fucking arm off.
Yeah, she might have done that, yeah. But she wouldn't have talked about it. She had just done it. Now, I think I've said this on a prior stream, too, that, when she was, had that third little run-in with Gerwishka and she was talking to him, that was a little different. She was actually talking to Nova, you know, I know who my enemy is. I know he's watching us now. Well, she's talking to him, you know. That's unusual for her to talk. She just kills you. That's it. You know, that's all it is. You know.
Well, yeah, but they've got to sort of give the audience something to understand.
Yeah, I guess so, but still.
I hate that though. You don't always have to give the audience to understand. Sometimes you have to give the audience something to discuss. You know what I mean? And actually, this is what, well, maybe my next video. I don't know. I have a lot of videos I'm writing, but some things that I do like better.
We haven't seen any for a while, though.
I know, especially now. Today was going to be the day I was going to sit down and work on shit, and then my computer's fucking dead. So, but
jeez, we need to collaborate on a video, Den.
Whenever I get a computer back. But that's one thing I was writing the video about was I think I mentioned this before, was about the beauty and simplicity, because I've seen the manga criticized for not filling in certain gaps. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about time skips. I'm talking about motivations and things like that. And and also the same thing with, you know, my favorite show, Dragon Ball. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes you don't need to tell everything, and sometimes it leaves just enough to the imagination of the reader or the watcher in order to kind of make up their own theories, and that kind of makes it a little bit more fun to experience.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. Yeah,
we can discuss things like we can have an entire live stream right now on what is the actual true nature of Alita's relationship with Ito, because Kishiro never sits down and just tells you. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of different things to discuss with pulling up different, you know, parts of the manga, different statements and different translations you could do that with. And then same thing you can do in Dragon Ball. You know what I mean? How strong is this character compared to this character? That's something that's very important over there. Yeah. You don't need to have someone tell you every second of the way, well, I'm thinking this and this is how this works. You know, this is one of my problems with modern anime. You know, one punch takes 25 minutes because they're explaining, if I just hold all my energy and put it in the tip of my finger, then maybe I can crack his shell. And it's like, shut the fuck up and do it already, man.
Yeah. An arm wrestle scene that Alita and Josh can have. Like, that's a whole fucking chapter. It's a whole book.
No, but that's not the same thing of what I'm talking about, though, because a lot of the arm wrestling scene isn't the arm wrestling; it's the drama around it. You know, they're not sitting there necessarily explaining to you every second of the way of how this works and how that works, and that chi's going to flow in this direction. But if I reverse my chi, I can block his chi. It's not. We're not doing that. It's the drama around it. You know what I mean? That really made that scene. Because I mean, arm wrestling is boring. Let's be honest. No one wants to fucking watch that shit. But if you
I'd watch it if it was Alita and Josh again.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's different because we're talking about the drama around it. You know, if there's a bunch of characters we didn't know, two random Russian guys speaking a language you don't understand, you're not going to watch that shit. But the fact that
there was
Alita
epic music in the background, yeah, maybe. From Junkie XL, mate.
But you get what I'm saying, though. We're watching this arm wrestling because it's Alita and Jashugan, and Ito's there, and Shimura's there, and they're making the situation more tense. And Alita's now pretending like she doesn't, or Ito's now pretending that he doesn't know Alita. And Alita's like, "What the fuck? You don't know me?" You know what I mean? Shit like that. That's what made that scene.
Yeah. Anyway, Dan, I made a note. We might do that for next week's stream. Alita's relationship with Ito. We kind of did that a little bit here about 3 months ago, I think, but it was real brief because we went over the men in Alita's life, you know, and it was just very, very brief, you know, with her and Ito, you know. But yeah, it's kind of like, you know, from the chat, Thor Suma says it's really complex and problematic. Yeah, it sure is. So we could have a show enough stream, as they would say on that one, a whole stream, you know, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And I love that it's not explicitly just told to you. You know what I mean? I'm not a writer. I'm not anyone who knows the tropes of writing or whatever, but sometimes I like to theorize, and sometimes things are written in ways that make it more interesting. Like, I'll go back to Dragon Ball again. Frieza's backstory is never explained. You're never told what he is or why he can do the things that he does. You're just told that he does it. And I think that makes it more interesting to me. You know what I mean? Or like the Xenomorph, right? The worst thing that ever happened to the Alien franchise was Prometheus, because it explained too much and demystified the Xenomorph. You know what I mean? Sometimes being told things makes it worse, in my opinion.
What is not to get too far off of Alita, but Prometheus? What is that really in the Aliens kind of universe? I mean, I know the critter at the end looks a lot like the Xenomorph, but Okay.
Yeah, it's like the proto-xenomorph is what you get in the sequel to Prometheus. And it's a
Okay.
terrible sequel. It's even worse than Prometheus. Prometheus could have worked as a standalone film, but the fact that it's connected to Alien bothers me. I don't know, call it autism or something, but it just bothers me. It gets under my skin.
I don't know. I loved it, man. I thought it was awesome.
No, I didn't like. I thought that Numi looks good.
Better than the
She's
Empty
good.
Man.
Nah, the Empty Man is dope, man. That's another. That's another movie I'm talking about where it gives you just enough, but then it sends you down a rabbit hole. I like that shit. I don't like the.
Them's fighting words. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
He's allowed to like a movie. You know what I mean? I'm not one of those people. You know what I mean?
I like that movie. I like that movie Aliens because it's got a lot of that military guerrilla talk in it. You know, I kind of like that. You know, I like that a lot.
You like it because it's a Cameron movie. Come on, admit it.
Well, it is a Cameron movie, but I've worked with military guys, and it really a lot of that stuff they say that all that just about all that stuff. You know, look into my eye. You know, and stuff like that. You know, that stuff is you hear.
If you're grinning and drop your linen.
I love that one.
Yeah. See, I mean that shit. They all say
guys, assholes and elbows. I say that shit to my wife when she's moving slow. Fucking assholes and elbows. It means nothing. But my thing about this is my spicy take on Aliens now. That's my favorite one to watch. But when it comes to the lore, that one bothers me too. Because you go from this invincible, unstoppable killing machine in the first one, and then now they're ants. And that kind of like it also demystifies the xenomorph.
Wouldn't that be
as well.
progression on how they how you get rid of them? Like they can't just be going and fucking you up all the time. There's got to be a point in time, and you know what I mean, where you fuck them up, or the predator comes along and does it for you.
I get to see. That's why I don't mind Alien versus Predator as a concept, because Predator is coming from a higher civilization with higher weapons and higher forms of dealing with this shit. So I don't mind that. But you're telling me that my 5.56 is gonna, kill this thing when in the last movie Flames didn't do shit to it?
Kill it with fire, mate.
Well, it didn't like those. It didn't like those flames, Dan.
It didn't like them. Yeah, it was annoying. It was like sparklers of a firework. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
From an author's perspective, when you look at Alien versus Aliens, in Alien it was people who were unprepared and untrained, and they had to deal with one of these things and it tore them to pieces. So that's fucking stupid.
Whoever wins,
right?
we lose.
Yeah, and then.
That's the wrong movie.
And then you look at the second one.
That's what he says about
sent
the pineapple.
an entire highly trained, highly provisioned, and weaponized military team out to deal with these things.
Yeah,
and they have a lot of fucking trouble.
See, if the way I would have done it, and like I said, I don't hate Aliens. It's the one I watched the most. Me and my wife love that movie. So just take it out of the lens of me disliking. I love that movie. But to me, when it comes to the lore, I would have made it like 5 of them. I know that sounds more boring because Cameron's the action guy, and I love the action in this movie. But for me, I would have tried to keep it more in the realm of horror. This is why I'm not the rich movie film guy. You know what I mean? Because I would have fucked it up. But no, for me, I would have liked to keep it more in the realm of horror. I would have made it like, say, 5 of them. You know what I mean? Like, or maybe, more instead of just like squashing ants, like they're just killing a bunch of them. You know what I mean? Especially in the extended release version where they had those sentry guns just like slaughtering a bunch of them. I would have more buffed up the alien than it was in the film.
Well, they have different versions of the alien. They got the queen. They got, the kind of not the drones, but they're not drones. They're like soldiers, protecting her. So, and those guns. To me, those guns. I guess the guns the military were using that were very similar to the guns that were in that you see Alita and Halo have. I mean, in some regards. Yeah. So, I could see those guns shooting to bits. What I took away from Aliens is there was a whole bunch of those aliens, and you ain't got enough bullets, type thing for that one. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I would have changed it from that. I would have changed it to less aliens and buffed them up. And this is why, more controversial, I like Alien 3 as a concept. Like, I really like that they took it back to horror. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to hate me for that one because everyone hates fucking Alien 3.
Is awesome.
I love that movie. It has the best kill in the franchise to me, and it's very basic, but the way they shot the alien, it looks fucking terrifying. It's like a thing of nightmares. Yeah. But
I remember when I saw Alien, that when it popped out of John Hurt's chest, I went, "Holy crap!" Yeah, I mean I agree with you. That was more of a horror flick than the second one. The second one was more of an action flick.
In the background of that scene, they actually didn't warn them when it was going to happen, so that it was more of a reaction than an acting thing.
I heard Lambert got blood in her mouth. Yeah, I love the Alien franchise, man. It is one of the best to me. I'm a big fan of that, and I hate Prometheus.
It's very similar to what they did to poor what's his name? I can't think of the actor's name, but the character was oh god, that's gone too. My favorite Christmas movie, Die Hard, when the bad guy's hanging out the window.
Yeah.
And you know that look on his face when he starts dropping in slow motion?
It's like, oh yeah, oh shit. That's an oh shit moment.
They didn't warn him. They were counting him down from 10 and they dropped him at 4. They dropped him at 4. They didn't warn him. That to get a reaction.
I like that. Yeah. Isn't this something similar to what they did to Shelley Duvall on The Shining? They just fucked with her. Yeah. They just absolutely just destroyed her life, and then she like got obese or something after that, or got became an alcoholic. I don't remember. I just remember the filming of The Shining is supposed to have fucked her up really bad.
Well, I
had Jack Nicholson in it, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a couple of actresses that Orson Welles used to really give a hard time to get reactions out of them, but he caused them all sorts of PTSD and shit.
David Watson, you're a good man. He said he liked Alien 3, the assembly cut, which I love. Honestly, that's recently in the last couple of years, over time, Aliens is my favorite to watch, but Alien 3 assembly cut has become my favorite one to watch, and I'm completely alone in that because my wife hates that fucking movie. So
I love it when that dude gets caught up in the fan and just turns into red mist and you see his boot.
I like that fucking movie. It's a fucking horror movie. You know what I mean? Yeah. I like shit. I like horror, you know?
Yeah, I don't. Oh, boy. Let me bring it back.
I really like the vibe of Alien 4 up until the bloody thing that Joss Whedon created showed up.
Okay. Wrong movie that starts with an A.
That was my favorite one as a kid because that was the only one I'd seen in the theaters as a kid. But I'm not gonna lie, even though it's like more of a comedy movie, that newborn thing still freaks me the fuck out to this day.
Predator 1 was a comedy movie.
Kinda. In ways it was
more in that than any other emotion. Some of those one-liners,
the one-liners are fucking great.
I don't got
they should have turned you into a goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah,
Jesse Ventura was so great in that fucking movie. How far he's fallen. He's just like a senile old man now.
Yeah, he doesn't keep working out. No, I'm just kidding.
He's still got a big chin though.
Yeah, he does. He had. I'm gonna bring it back to Alita here in a minute, but I want to say one thing about that movie. Predator is that he and Arnold Schwarzenegger actually had a bet. They bet who had the biggest guns, and they bet a bottle of champagne on it, and they measured Jesse Ventura's arms, and he had 20 inch bicep tricep type arm, and they measured Arnold's, and he had 23 inches. So anyway, Jesse Ventura had to buy Arnold a bottle of champagne. So
Arnold's a fucking big dude, man.
Yeah,
23 inches is still big.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
All right, Dizzy, what is it about Alita? I mean, she's not a superhero, but what do you think about her in that regard, rather?
I think pretty much everyone's touched on it, eh? Like she's got the superhero qualities but doesn't use them for that. Like as in the powers and all that, but she's sort of on her own program, and she's just cruising through being the grey man, doing her own thing, and that's. You could sort of, like I think I read in the chat before, she's sort of like Batman and all the like that type of superhero. She doesn't have any superpowers. She has enough to get some shit done, but she's on her own program.
I don't know about not having superpowers. I mean, I know on Den's stream, and we've talked on this stream. Of course, it was
she's got superpower qualities. Like she's not completely got nothing, but it's not like Superman. It's not like, she's bulletproof or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but she does have enough powers to be considered to be one, but she isn't one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it, but I think she's, like we've talked about this on Den Stream, she's in that Imaginos body, particularly that 2.0 and 2.1 body. No, I think in Imaginos 1, she moves near the speed of light. So, I mean, that's pretty damn, that's pretty super powered right there. I mean, there's nothing that can move that fast, so, but I agree with you. She's not invulnerable like Superman or Shazam, for sure. She's not that. But when you look at like Captain America, let's say, or say you consider the Flash, the Flash is not invulnerable. He just moves so fast you can't shoot him, So, but that gives him that kind of a superpower or superhero kind of thing, So
she's just like me or you, but has that stuff ready to go, but doesn't want to do anything with it, really.
Yeah, she's not out to save the world, is she?
She hasn't got an agenda. Like, she's not, I'm going to wear a cape and me pants on the outside and go and, save some people from falling out of buildings and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
She would if it was Hugo, but then again, she couldn't even save him off the bloody pipe.
Oh.
See, and that talking about that, there was some discussion back in the day, right? When the Alita film was part of the culture war stuff, you know what I mean? And everyone was calling Captain Marvel a Mary Sue. And so then the people who are on Captain Marvel's side were like, well, these movies are extremely similar in plot structure. Doesn't that make Alita a Mary Sue too, since she's stronger than everyone? No. Because in the movie and the manga, Alita pretty much fails at everything. Whether it's from her own decision or just an indecision she made, you know what I mean? She's not really someone, she's very strong, but she's not invulnerable to consequences. And that's, I think, right there is what separates her from being a Mary Sue. And you end up feeling really bad for her in a lot of situations. In many cases, she ends up being the most beat up character.
Well, she's very human, isn't she? I mean, in that regard, I mean, several times in the movie, and of course in the manga, she cries, I don't think I don't think you'd see Captain Marvel cry.
I don't know about Captain Marvel in the comic books. I saw only part of the movie, but when one of my favorite times when Alita cries is in the Motorball arc, because in that arc she's just stone cold bitch. She's Sarah Connor in the second movie. You know what I mean? And that's like showing her like where she wants to be Steel, and even then she breaks down. She cries many times in the manga, but I think the most poignant time or whatever you fucking say that word is when Teagle dies. I think it was Teagle, and she's like telling herself not to cry, and that's to steel herself in order to go fight Joshua Khan. To me, that just shows that she's nothing. She's not even intended to be a Mary Sue. She's maybe not intentionally, but in a way, she's a subversion of the Mary Sue.
Well, she has all
the qualities. Yeah, she has all the qualities of it, and then still, can't quite make shit work.
Yeah.
Well, a Mary Sue is someone who has all the tools available for anything that they come across, and they're not really challenged, and they don't have setbacks. They just cruise through life dealing with shit
So is MacGyver a Mary Sue?
And that's that. Sorry.
MacGyver, is he a Mary Sue?
Oh, he has challenges. He overcomes them, though. But you're comparing like late 70s, early 80s TV to proper storytelling.
Yeah.
And that's
episodic TV show versus serialized.
I think I stand corrected here. Thor Soma says, plenty of female superheroes cry. I think she's right, because I think in the movie Wonder Woman, I think Wonder Woman cries. So, so I think she's got a point there, But I think
cry.
Well, no, the point wasn't that female superheroes don't cry or whatever. The point was it's how I was just talking about the point at which I thought was the most, hard hitting for me. It was just at the point where she was trying her hardest to be the complete opposite of what she actually was. She was wearing a mask, you know what I mean, as being Steel. And the mask breaks as, Teagle dies, the most supposedly unimportant character to her, you know what I mean? Even then, she showed a lot of compassion for that character, and I really like that. By the way, Kashiro never ever says any of this shit outright. In a lot of the anime that my wife watches, it'll be, well, you were acting super tough, and then all of a sudden you started. No, it's like shit that you got to read into in order to find and see it there.
Plus,
and also
when somebody cries, you can see them too. So it's not like you got to be explained to you about that they're crying.
There's an old writer's maxim which says, "Show, don't tell."
Yeah.
And I think anime breaks that badly on a lot of people.
It really does. Well, modern anime at least. I don't know about older anime, but because I'm not the anime guru, but I'm just the stuff that my wife has been watching is just like really. I don't know. People like it. I'm not going to say it's bad. It's just not my thing.
I reckon seeing them cry makes them more powerful for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes them more human.
Yeah, that's what I like
But
about
every
it.
episode, though, that's another problem with modern anime. You know what I mean? Every goddamn episode, fucking Midoriya cries. Every time I've seen Demon Slayer, there's another character fucking crying. Like, you're overdoing it now, guys. You know what I mean? You're over fucking doing it. We don't need to cry 2-3 times in the same goddamn movie. You know, I think Alita cries just enough.
Well, she doesn't actually outright cry when Ito tells her, that she's an armed berserker, the most powerful, cyborg weapon ever created. And she, and he's telling her about this stuff. She has a tear run down her cheek, but she doesn't really just bust out going boo-hoo, I mean, I guess you could say that's crying, but it's not like she does in the manga at that one point, Dan. You probably remember that she's, everything's going so badly for her that she starts just busts out, she's suffering from PTSD, everything's going badly, and she just kind of busts out crying, and she doesn't want to live anymore. She's done with it,
Is that yellow door scene?
I think so, yeah. Is that it?
There's a few times where that happens. Because the time I was thinking about was in Last Order when she was up in Zalem. Or no, not when she was up in Zalem. When she got to the juvenile planet or whatever, and she started having those flashbacks. You know what I'm talking about?
Norasoma! Oh, she's just ripped you a new one, dude. Oh man!
Yeah, I am a boomer. I've said it many, many times. I just don't get all the fucking crying. Like, I guess that's more of show don't tell though. You know what I mean? Because they have to tell you that this fucking situation.
I love it.
A fucking waterfall coming out of their face.
What I don't get
because they have to tell you. They got to tell you straight up. Oh, this is a sad scene, or this character is sad. You know what? It was like, motherfucker, just let me watch the show.
Yeah, we can see.
You know what I mean?
Sad.
You don't got to tell me every second of every fucking scene. You have to tell. It's like putting a big ass sign above the screen. Clap now.
Yeah.
Laugh now. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, just fucking write your story.
Yeah.
Well, hey, they used to do that for live studio audiences. Applause.
Yeah, which is why I would never be part of that.
Wow, I can't display any more chats. I wonder what's going on with my computer here. Oh well.
It's pulled a
Angela's
Denny.
just sick and tired of hearing Den cry about anime characters crying.
What?
Can you not see the chat, Den? The text
No, I'm
chat?
not reading the chat. Hold on.
That's why I said it there.
David.
Come on, Angelus. Tell the man how you really feel.
Come back on the stream.
I did, but there's some cunt that's too busy crying about other anime characters crying.
Listen, that's why I don't watch anime. It's just not my fucking thing. I just don't. It's not my thing. I don't know. It's too over the top. I don't know.
90s anime is where it's at. All this new stuff, yeah, nah.
No, it's not even about new. I just don't like anime. But like I said,
Dragon Ball.
That's one. That's one. You know what I mean?
There's so much crying in that. Goku's kid just wouldn't shut the fuck up.
That's like no, listen. That's like saying, "Oh, you motherfucker, you love Chinese food. You're always eating this Chinese food, bitch. I eat egg rolls. That's it. You know what I mean? I eat fucking egg rolls. I'm not a fan of the rest of that shit."
But you're a fan.
No. My wife likes that anime shit. I can't watch it with her. Half of the dialogue in Demon Slayer is some dude screaming. It's fucking ear rape.
What if there was less crying?
and less screaming and less explaining.
I know that movie. That
how you
movie
get
300. They're
Dragon
yelling a lot.
That's good yelling, though. That's like gym yelling. That's like I'm about to fucking PR this deadlift yelling. You know what I mean?
What about all that
Like you're about
Dragon
to
Ball
poo
yelling?
yourself.
Hell yeah, they're hitting PRs in Dragon Ball. That's why they're screaming.
You can't scream when you're in a competition though. They don't like that shit.
That's bullshit.
No, I'm telling you, they frown on it. They're not going to
that's
yeet
bullshit.
you. They're not going
Why?
to yeet you, but they just don't. It's just considered not ethical, but not good.
What about
You know.
loud spewing?
I've never done that.
I've seen this-
Are you
this-
using
this
spewing
chick-
in the term of actual vomiting, or
Yeah.
Oh.
I've seen this chick
Yeah.
weight wrestler that let one
Yes.
power spew all over the front deck of the
Yeah.
crowd. When
Yeah,
she
I've
was
seen
lifting,
that.
Just blah, blah.
Well, I've never seen it
okay.
in
I
any
don't know if it's
competitions I've done. I've never seen that, but on YouTube, I saw somebody do a projectile vomit, hurling, after doing a deadlift,
no, that's not what
Yeah, dude, I've
hurling
seen
means.
that shit.
Hurling is throwing power poles. It's not throwing up.
Yeah, it
I've
is.
seen.
Okay,
plenty
that's
of people
Australian for hurling.
I've seen one dude
Scottish
puke and
for
still
hurling.
fucking win. You know what I mean?
Under.
Halfway through the deadlift, he fucking puked. Still
Yes.
completed the
Pizza?
goddamn still completed the goddamn lift.
Yeah. I hope that was his third lift.
What happened? Man, y'all are breaking up so much. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Can you guys hear me okay? Because
Yeah.
okay. Because my
Yeah, go ahead.
computer.
Denny's lagging.
Yeah, it's probably
Can't hear Denny.
it's my
I think
wife's
he's too busy
laptop.
crying.
Dude, you're too busy fucking a pineapple. Shut up. You just took this stream from like PG-13 to X with the goddamn fruit.
Take it to Triple X, Davo. Get your cam up.
Triple X next level.
Boom, chicka wow wow.
Make sure you're crying too, just to please Denny.
Yeah, cry fucking cigarette the best. You know what I mean? As soon as you nut, you drop those.
Break out
tears,
the
you know?
pineapple and onion.
Pineapple and onion. I guess so. If you're going to eat it on pizza, yeah.
No, the
Exactly.
onion's for the crying.
Because pineapple belongs there.
And tears.
Okay, I guess Angelus. What about Alita being a superhero, anti-hero, whatever you want to call it? What's your thoughts on that?
She can be as powerful as she wants and she still doesn't have the... Wait, yeah. She can be as powerful as she wants and she still doesn't have the power to save everyone.
Yeah,
That's basically it. That's
there it is.
She's not going hard enough then. That's the problem. She needs to put in
See,
more.
she should have run backwards.
But she
around the
tried,
earth
though.
and Run
So
back
you're telling...
Yeah.
So you're saying that she's falling short of the mark.
Yes, yeah.
Hey, no
I would
Reagan
say-
on Alita's size, thank you. She's a pocket rocket.
I would say in various stories she did try harder, and just in different ways. You know what I mean? Like I think Motorball was an example of that, where she tried to be the champion of that and shit. That was her trying hard in one way. She just didn't know, where to put the energy into. Some of the stuff in Tuned, the all white shit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I think a lot of that is examples of her trying harder, but then just not going in the
Thank
right
you,
direction.
Thor
Yeah.
Summer.
yeah. I
Big
knew
secret.
I loved Thor Suma. I knew it when she said pineapple because now she probably likes pineapple on pizza.
Yeah, listen, everyone
I don't
loves
think
pineapple.
it's the attraction
Just
that
don't like
Davo
it on
has to it.
pizza.
I don't like pineapple.
Davo probably puts a wig on it and takes it out for fucking dinner.
Is that for fucking dinner or fuck and dinner? I'm just trying to make sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, we are definitely X-rated tonight. That's cool.
Both.
Well,
In fact, I'll take the pineapple out to this good little Asian restaurant I know. It actually puts pineapple in the like the fried rice that they make.
see, but that's good though. You see what I'm saying? Pineapple is good. No one's saying pineapple wasn't good.
And
but
then,
it's just
then for dessert, I'll go to
depending on
Domino's
what you
and get
put
a
it on.
slice of Hawaiian.
I love it. Thor
dessert,
Suma
huh?
pineapple on pizza. I love it. I love it.
Yes. My new favorite hunter warrior.
Yes. Yes. Okay, moving right along before we completely descend into utter chaos, or in other words, radio chaos to the fifth power. I know one of the things I like about Alita a lot too is just her sheer determination, just her staying with something, until, I mean, she may fail, but she just stays with it and does everything she can to achieve the objective. That's one of the things I like about her, So what do you guys think about that perseverance and determination bullet there?
Maxie?
Yeah, Maxie, what do you think?
Sorry, I was muted. I'm doing a little bit of cleaning up while I'm listening to you guys go on about pineapple fucking pizza. Okay, so,
yeah.
Perseverance is my one-word descriptor for Alita.
Yeah.
She perseveres. She never gives up. She's a lot of people suffer from a lack of personal belief, and she doesn't know what that is.
She's not one of those people.
She's always been. I feel that this needs to be done. I will find a way to do it. That's it. End of story.
Yeah.
And she'll weigh it all up. She'll go, this is going to harm people. Well, it still needs to be done. And this whole, she's not trying to save the world or anything. Actually, in Last Order, she's trying to save the Earth and Zalem/Typharis. Like, that's what she's doing it for, because Ladder is going to fuck them. And she basically says, no, I've got to stand up for them because no one else can or will. and even Karula. Even Karula recognizes that in her battle with Alita and goes, well, I would like a place for the orphans, but maybe we can use the Earth for the orphans, and I'll let this other woman win because I can see that she is the focal point of karma here, and she can get the job done because I can't stand out in the light because I'm a fucking vampire, but she can. So, but then of course, bloody Arthur and Zeus get together and do their thing. I'm still a bit concerned about that.
Yeah.
Because Kishiro hasn't gone forward very much. I mean, he's set up a few things with Frau X/Erica coming back into it, and the whole attempt on the Queen's life, Queen Lemura, attempt on her life, and trying to pin it on Alita.
Yeah.
And showing distrust there, but what the fuck is actually going on there? Nobody knows yet because he hasn't gone any further forward with that. And I'd really like to know. The two things that I want him to write before he gives up on it or drops dead, one or the other, is the training of Alita. Well, training of Yoko, should I say?
Yes.
In the
Panzerkunst.
Yeah, exactly. And what the fuck's happening after present time? That he's shown us. He set it all up, but he hasn't gone anywhere with it. So I want to know. I don't want him just to walk away and say, well, can't be bothered.
Yeah, that would be the coolest thing, showing her military training. I mean, I can really identify with that one. Dizzy, what do you think about that? I mean, you were in the military, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the question? I wasn't listening.
Well, what? No. What do you? One of the things Maxie says, and I agree with him. We've talked about this on prior streams. It'd be really cool to see, and maybe a series prequel type thing, or even flashbacks on a sequel, flashing back, say, to Alita's military training. We kind of saw a little bit of that in the movie. When they were in that zero-G chamber.
How much of that do you reckon was programmed? Was she out of the box ready to go? You know what I mean? Like, was she half programmed? Like,
I got the impression that I got the impression that she was not near ready to go. Gelda pretty easily, maneuvered her in such a way that she had that blade at her throat, pretty fast, so that would tell me that she needs a lot, at that point in the movie, or at least that flashback that she was remembered at that point, she was still, maybe not like a raw boot, maybe, but she was, still needed a lot more training. You know what I mean? Raw boot.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So, Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah, it does actually. But what do you think, Dizzy? I mean, do you think is that something that you would like to see in kind of like an Alita sequel or series, seeing Alita's training, what she went through her
Mate,
boot
I'll
camp?
watch anything. I'll watch anything with a leader
Yeah,
in it now. Like whether it's post, pre, intra. But
yeah,
with the training, yeah, that'd be really good. You always want to see a build up of how they got to where they are and and what they do and just some of the like all this Panzer Kunst Kunst
yeah,
like how they like how that happens. Like when you watch martial art movies, you like seeing the people training,
yeah,
working their way up and becoming more powerful. Like it's almost like montage stuff.
yeah, yeah. I think Just a Fan said, I don't know if he means that Alita's a natural athlete and wouldn't be anything without training. I think that's right, because in the novelization, she has to train like 2 or 3 months to get ready to play motorball at the tryout. You don't get that sense in the movie, but she had this body. She didn't have the berserker body at that point. Well, yeah, she did have the berserker body, but she still had to learn how to play motorball.
I don't know. Her first match was pretty bloody good.
Yeah, it was.
She just got better.
Yeah, she just destroyed them all. So
Yeah.
But anyway, she still had to be trained, didn't you? Didn't she? And I think that and that would go because she was in a berserker body there when she was in the military. It looked like, at least at the end. I mean, if you follow the story, she started out in just a regular, kind of a not android, but a regular cyborg body. And then as she got better and better, they transferred her core to different bodies until she got the berserker body. So
yeah, that's how it was described.
yeah.
What you're not taking into account is there was actually 2 time skips in the movie. The first one was the obvious one where you see the day and night flipping around, and it's 2 months later. But the other one was between when they're in the street and Hugo says you should try out for motorball.
Yeah.
And when she actually tries out, there is a time skip there. They just didn't do anything to represent it.
Yeah.
But there's in the novelization, it's a month. A month passes.
Oh, a month. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So she trains really hard for a month before that next scene.
What's interesting though, I know when you train, and Angelus can tell us this too, and Dan can, anybody that's just starting out, they train for a month. To me, they're probably still not as good as they can be. A month is not very long, when you talk about training. You know what I'm saying? It's just not.
Well, in the mangas, I don't know. There was a little bit of a breakup there, but there's a discussion going on in the chat about whether or not she's a natural athlete.
Yeah.
And for me, I guess that has two components to it, right? Someone who is, I guess, very coordinated and can figure out body movements real easily. Like one thing you notice back when I used to teach martial arts was people who come in and they're new, they just don't fucking get things that are very, very fundamental to martial arts. You know what I mean? Like the way you step, the way you utilize your body to generate power. Like you just can't get it through to them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? For like the first day or so. And then there's some people who come in and they just get it. They're fucking like I had one chick who was a lawyer. She was a desk worker come in and she just immediately understood it. There's that kind of component to a natural athlete. There's a physical and a mental, basically. Alita physically, I guess you can't say whether she is or she isn't because she's got a robot body. You know what I mean? Like she's pretty much all mechanical, so that doesn't count. But mentally, I would say that she just has a natural awareness of spatial awareness. You know what I mean? Because you see that she talks in the manga about being able to naturally play music very well and things like that. And a lot of guys who are martial artists and fighters talk about how fighting translates over to other things. I can tell you how fighting in ways translates over to shooting. Some people talk about how fighting translates over to dancing and things like that. And Alita talks about that in the manga. So I'd say there's a component of her being a natural athlete. She just naturally gifted. So maybe 1 month with her in her past life being a very, very gifted martial artist would be enough to at least get by in motorball. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got a point, I guess. Because having a cyborg body like that too. I mean, the muscle memory is there, isn't it, in the body? So I guess it's just a matter of connecting with it. But my thought was, I know years ago when I was engaged pretty heavily in martial arts, it took me a month or two just to get my first belt. My in my style, purple belt, first belt. It took me, at least I think like 6 weeks or maybe, and that's just the very first belt. There's like 5 or 6 more belts after that, and it takes a while to get up to black belt. It takes a while to get up to brown belt, actually,
Well, if you think about it, part of progression with martial arts is physical ability and conditioning. You've got to build up the strength, build up the ability to take hits, build up the stamina. With a cyborg body, you wouldn't. All you need to do is get the skills down. So you've got about 1/3 of the learning and developing
already in there.
You normally have to do. Also, you look at the street scene where Hugo says she's a natural. So she's got her Panzerkunst gives her a leg up on that as well.
One part that's very, very big in martial arts, which is one thing that I really love about Floyd Mayweather and fighters like Saenchai, I would say even like Sean O'Malley or something like that, right? Is fight IQ or ring IQ, right? And that's what I would say that Alita has. She has because there's just a way of thinking and seeing the world that makes you good at at martial arts. You know what I mean?
Or like Lurdzilla too. He's another one.
Being able to being able to condition your opponent, as I mentioned before, spatial awareness.
Yes,
it's not all of it's physical, a lot of it's mental, which is how you can get a shorter, weaker fighter beating a bigger, stronger fighter. You know what I mean? I guess Brazilian jiu-jitsu is a place where that comes out very heavily, which is why it's misquoted as being the one for smaller fighters. But there's a way of thinking, and I think that what's hinted at is the fact that Alita has that way of thinking that makes her naturally gifted at it, because you put her in there with the cyborg who's just as strong, but he has Hugo's brain. You know what I mean? Alita's going to come out on top of that, because equally as strong doesn't matter when Alita has the way of seeing things that she does. That's more conducive to martial arts than, say, Hugo, who's just kind of like or movie Hugo, who's kind of like a soft nerd. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think Hugo's a wimp, but other than that, so.
I don't think
any motorball is there's a large component of knowledge and understanding of how to do it. And actually, Hugo trains Alita in that. He knows, because he's been around the track for so long, what works and what doesn't work. So he actually trains her. And being smaller and not as strong as some of the other cyborgs, until she, it doesn't matter how strong the body is. There's only a certain amount of lifting and things that you can do because of momentum and stuff like that, especially on skates. So she can't do some of the stuff that the really big cyborgs can do. She will still get, like, you look at that scene with the Pro Motorball where Jashigan gets bulldozed by the guy with the 2 big shields.
Yeah.
He couldn't really do anything about that because the guy's so much bigger than him, and the mass on wheels just knocked him off his feet. He couldn't really, unless he avoided it, he couldn't really do much about it because of the mass and the fact that they're on wheels and they're moving at speed. And Alita would have the same problem. She's strong, but she doesn't have the mass to stop a large mass coming at her. So the knowledge of, like in the novelization, Hugo goes, be faster, be faster, be faster, be faster. That is the way a small player wins. And that is why Crimson Wind is such a challenge to Alita, because Crimson Wind is even faster than Alita. Yeah. So the one thing that it was drummed into her by Hugo was be faster, and this person is faster. So the edge that Alita had isn't going to work on a person who has the same edge but a little bit better. So, Alita can combat, Crimson Wind can't. So,
well, in that tryout though, there was Crimson Wind wasn't in that tryout. I mean,
no, exactly. Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen Alita go up against the Paladins, which is what the top motorballers are called.
Yeah, the
So
first leaders.
that is the trick. How is she going to deal with that? And I've tried to include that within my my fanfic about how I think she's going to deal with that. And there's actually one of the early scenes in the first motorball match that I write about, where she's coming down from above with the blade, thinking, "Oh, this will be easy," but the pro motorball is expecting it, and he gets the shields up ready for her. And she skitters off the top of it, and she's like, "Shit! I got to remember these guys are the best." And my second league easy outs aren't going to work on them.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm trying to get across. That these guys are the best. They've had all the experience. They've got the best equipment. They've got the best training. They are going to be hard for her. They're not going to be the pushovers that the low rankers were back in second league.
Yeah.
But I mean, you've got to challenge your main characters. You can't have them just walk through everything, or you're watching the Star Wars sequels, and we all know how boring that was. It's like, oh yeah, she's going to just kick everyone's ass. Oh yeah, hey look, it took her to the third movie to do some actual training.
Captain Marvel.
I want to push back a little bit on something Dizzy says. I agree with you, Dizzy. What he said in the chat was nothing is natural. There's a point in time where you first encounter everything. No, I agree with you. What I mean by natural isn't not that you're born knowing how to do something. Of course, you have to be taught, but I'm going to bring it back to boxing again. Deontay Wilder, right? The man didn't start boxing until he was like 19, 20 or something like that, if I'm correct. And he was an undefeated champion up until he went up against Tyson Fury, pretty much with a 100% knockout ratio. The man is built like a cyborg himself. Like, he's nuts. And when you watch him fight, he does a lot of things that every boxing coach would tell you not to do, because he's doesn't have as much experience or training as most boxers, but he's killing all of them. I would say that is a natural talent right there. You know what I mean? Now, only recently in the last couple of years has he actually started focusing on the fundamentals of boxing, because he got his ass beat by Tyson Fury, who is very, very good at the fundamentals. To be this far in your career and just now really drilling down on the fundamentals, to me, tells me that you have something that other people didn't have. And I guess the best way to put that is with the phrase natural. And I'd say Alita has some aspect of that.
Yeah, David Watson's got it's getting pretty late over there. So anyway, night, David, as they would say. So okay, yeah, those are good points. What about physical traits? Yeah, ooh counts, David. As part of this, but I'm also talking about just her strength, her physical strength. We kind of touched on a little bit there, and her speed and that kind of stuff. So, what is it about those physical traits that Alita has that you guys like? I guess we can start with David, I guess, or Angelus.
Well, I mean, pretty much for me, it's always the uwu factor. Always has been, always will be.
Yeah, but it's not the only thing, is it?
Well, I guess the only other aspect would be the fact that she, and ironically enough, because I joke about it so much, is that she is short. Like Tyrion says, I can't believe that she can generate so much power from such a small body.
Yeah. She very much fits that, what Den was saying a while ago about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the perception at least that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is for shorter people or smaller people. Well, of course, anybody can do. I mean, when I say anybody can do, I don't mean they can all do it equally well, but I mean, you can learn, a lot of people can learn the techniques,
Maybe Panzer Kuntz is like the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu of Alita's world. You know what I mean? Maybe,
yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's unrealistic to think that any martial art is better for shorter people or whatever, or it gives them some sort of advantages. But, Panzer Kuntz, like we talked about before, was for zero gravity and shit like that. And when there's no gravity, no one's throwing their weight around like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You don't have weight. You're weightless. So, I don't know. That's just an interesting thought I just had.
Well, I don't know if Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu would be very good, though, for, someone against multiple attackers.
Hell no.
It'd be awful.
Hell no. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a
But-
side
You don't
tangent,
have
this is
weight, but you do have kinetic energy and mass. So,
yeah, you
Yeah.
still got mass, yeah.
so you
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
take that into consideration. And the thing
But
is,
yeah,
in a
go ahead.
frictionless environment, stopping yourself is a problem. If you get a lot of mass moving, stopping it is a really hard thing.
Maybe that's what the plasma jets are for.
Quite possibly.
But yeah,
But it's also said that Panzerkunst is designed for smaller fighters to take on larger foes. So
yeah.
it works for her because she's small. And a lot of the cyborgs go big or go home. So, the biggest fighters in the arena in the manga were massive. And that's an advantage to her. So Panzerkunst kind of works for her a lot better than it would, say, somebody of the size of Figure 4 or something like that.
I mean, do you think so? I don't know.
I don't
We
know.
haven't seen. Maybe in the world of Gundam. Maybe
Yeah.
in that world.
Well, I know one thing.
I'm going on what's written. I can't
Yeah.
say, because I've never practiced Panzerkunst, I can't say
Yeah.
what it would be in the real world.
When it comes
Well, I know
for me, when it comes to taking down larger opponents, that's about your brain. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to outthink them, out strategize them, outplan them, because you're not gonna be strong enough to stop them with just pure strength on strength.
Momentum. Yeah, they've definitely got momentum on you.
Yeah, I mean, we've all heard that unpolitically correct phrase from high school when we have the special ed students that get really angry. That kind of strength. You're not going to stop that strength on strength. You just have to outthink them. You know
Well,
what
I know one thing in the manga, she sure beat the crap out of Figure 4, and he's a lot bigger than she is.
She's a
So,
cyborg, also.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Probably
true. but-
heavier than he is.
Yeah, that's right. But she still beat the holy crap of him.
I think that's saying more about Figure's ability to survive than it is.
Yeah, then it,
He should
yeah,
be dead.
yeah. And his perseverance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love that old set of panels. Boy, she literally stomped him in the mud. That's just so funny. I've gone back and just looked at those few panels, especially when she breaks his nose. I like that one too. So
I like it when he just wakes up and he still thinks he's fighting.
Yeah.
That's just a testament right there. He doesn't want to fucking give up.
yeah,
She had to literally put him to sleep to stop him.
yes. And I think that adhered him to her too. The fact that he kept on coming on. I mean, that was yeah. So
Well, I think would have only cemented that.
Zex is a little bit nasty.
Wait, what?
I got the memory of the part where Zex just pulled the arm right off of him.
Oh, you're talking about in the flashback?
Last Order. Yeah.
yeah.
But as for physical traits I like about Alita, I'll just say probably that last Imaginos body. I think that was the best design for me. The Wonder Woman design.
Yeah, that's the design I like. That to me that puts her on the level of Thanos in terms of ability. I mean, to me it does anyway.
But Thanos couldn't stop Ant-Man from flying up his butt and expanding. Okay,
Yeah.
So Thanos isn't that powerful.
Yeah.
Thanos, the Flash would mess up Thanos.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, I'm just saying the Snyder Cut Flash just made time run backwards like that.
Kind of OP.
Oh, I like that. I'd like that scene.
If you beat Snyder Cut Flash, he just goes back in time and tries again.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Oh,
Well, he does.
The only reason why Flash actually went back in time was because Batman grabbed a gun from another parademon and shot the one and killed him on the spot. So you wouldn't fire a second shot to finish Flash.
Yeah. Well, Flash is kind of like we talked about a while ago. He's not invulnerable like Superman. He's or Shazam. He's not
Flash
invulnerable.
Clearly, in the movie, he could essentially just tap his finger against the glass to save that girl. He just tapped his finger against the glass and it just shattered from a simple finger tap.
Yeah.
And if you watch like the TV show Flash, he does a lot of crazy things. Like he runs right through it, like right through a solid wall, because he's like shaking his whole body. So
well, he phases. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, though, is if Superman had been shot by that parademon with that big gun, that BFG, it would have done nothing to him. It would just bounced off of him. You know, that's what I'm saying. So
right,
you know.
but Flash needed to create the lightning bolt by going really fast.
I think Flash is a lot faster than Superman. Well, maybe not a lot faster, but he is faster.
So how do we know that? Superman has like every time Superman gets beaten at something, they just make another version of Superman.
Kind of like Goku.
No,
Goku only has one canon, one official canon. There's not been 10 versions. Goku Prime 1 million. Okay, well that Goku lost. Well, I'm gonna make another one. You know what I mean? No.
Yeah.
But
That's what I'm saying.
Here's one reason why Superman loses to everyone. Pink kryptonite. Google it. Google it now. I think it's the funniest thing on earth.
Superman is an old guy who's immune to this stuff. Well, at least when I was reading that one where he has like the white hair on his head and it's just like, oh right.
No. Okay, you're talking about green kryptonite. I'm talking about pink kryptonite. It's different. And it's canon. No,
red.
Pink kryptonite. Google pink kryptonite and come
back.
I don't
on Justice League Action.
Did you? That was in the Justice League?
Justice League Action.
I want to watch that episode.
Not in the movie Justice League. It's one of the animations.
Google pink kryptonite. Gary, Google it and put it on stream.
All right, I can do that.
Pink. This is how Goku beats Superman right here. Maybe taking him to Chippendales afterwards.
Well, I don't know, but Superman becomes a woman when that happens, though.
Okay, let's see what we got here. Let me.
Justice League Action, pink kryptonite.
You have to show me where this pink kryptonite comes up in the franchise because that's funny to me.
It's the kids one, Justice League Action. Superman becomes a woman.
No.
This seemingly turns homosexual. How does that stop him from fighting, though?
It doesn't. This is funny. And like, why'd y'all put that in the show? Like, what the fuck?
Well, no, it made him into a she temporarily.
Is that what happened in the other one? I don't know. I just found out about this.
Yeah.
And it's like a picture of like Lex Luthor tying him up, and Superman has something going on down there in his pants and his little underwear on the outside.
Oh no! In the Justice League Action, he actually like his boots turned into high heels. I'm not kidding.
We've gotten way off topic. Yeah, let's talk about some physical traits we like about Alita.
Yeah.
How about this? Which version going from manga to film to anime to the 3D presentation to the game? Which version aesthetically is your favorite?
Aesthetically?
What? The one with glasses?
I would say
Grandma.
Okay.
Well, we know what Dizzy's is. Dizzy's a doll body.
Grandma. Now you just said grandma. I agree with him on that one. Grandma Alita seems comforting.
Okay, Grandma Alita is more my speed.
Yeah.
But I think the body that I like the most, and it's really close to Maxie's favorite, but it would be the Berserker body. I mean, in terms of the movie. I actually like the Imaginos 2.1 body the best because, like I said earlier, she's got that tail. You know, to me, that's kind of sexy. You know, the tail. You know?
Man,
but in the movie, you know, I think the Berserker body barely beats out the motorball body. Although that motorball body sure looks sweet, boy. What's that, Dizzy?
Imagine if your grandma Alita had two tails in, mate.
Oh shit!
I don't want to know about that other tail. That tail in the front.
Yeah. Look, no hands.
Bigger than my tail. I don't want to hear about it.
Okay, I don't want to know about that other tail. No. Oh God!
She's a cyborg. She can have how many
tails she wants. Yeah, that's right. Especially in that Imagino spot, right? So
I'm gonna
that's
say,
funny.
just a fan. You are correct about that last comment. I'm kind of keeping up with what you guys are saying there. Not completely though. I've missed some of the chats, but yeah, there's some people who just no matter how much training you give them will never fucking get it. It wasn't a guy I was training, but there was another guy that when I was teaching Krav Maga, someone else was training him. He had been around for like 3 years and still looked like he was there since day one. Granted, I hated that school and I don't think it was the best school period, but yeah, like that motherfucker. Well, when he's good at soccer. He was very good at soccer, but he sucked at fucking fighting. Like he just didn't understand the movements. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's. I believe that that's not because he's just shit at it. I reckon everyone's shit at everything until they are good at it. And you got to.
But he'll never be good at it.
But that's just either because he hasn't stayed at it long enough, or
3 years.
Hey, maybe it takes longer for some people. It doesn't matter. Or he just didn't put in at the time that he was doing it, I should have been at home fucking kicking the bag, but I'm going to go out and have beers where someone's at home kicking the bag all night.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Here's the thing. None of us, no matter how much we train for the next billion years, like fine, maybe there's a certain amount of time you can train to get as good as someone else, but can you live that long is the real question. You know what I mean? If it's going to be 90 years, you will never be as good as Floyd Mayweather or Sanchez. You could take them, they could be 70 years old and Floyd Mayweather will still beat me in a boxing fight. Sanchez will still beat me at Muay Thai at 70 years old versus my age right now.
You have against
because
me?
they are that good.
You see, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like, isn't there a piece of your brain that says, "Here's a human. I'm a human. Why can't I be as good as him? Why can't I do the things he can do?"
He just has a leg up in certain ways. I mean, Sanchez literally only fights foreigners. Why can't you give yourself
that leg up? That's what I'm trying to say. Is why can't you put in enough to be like that?
No, I'm very, very, very good. I'm very naturally talented at this. However, I don't think that I will ever be as naturally talented as Sanchez. Sanchez is a man who he has stopped fighting Thais. He's from Thailand. He has stopped fighting Thais. He pretty much only fights foreigners that are 15 to 25 pounds bigger than him. He won't fight anyone his size. He only fights out of his weight class because that's where he gets challenges. The man is natural. Like they say, he lives in the Matrix. He sees the world in slow motion. Like the dude is fucking retarded. He ducked under a leg kick backwards, like Neo dodging bullets. Like this is not someone who you want to see in the ring, and it's natural for him. He's been training just as long as every other Thai out there.
Well,
but he's heads and tails above them.
But Dan,
I don't know, man. I still believe with the right, like with anything, if you shit at maths, fucking study maths and become a master.
Well, my thing is that when I was taking wait a minute, Dan, when I was taking martial arts, my teacher said no matter how bad you think you are, there's always somebody who can beat you. And it's kind of like Lurdzilla, he fought that kid from Brooklyn or New York or wherever he's from. I can't remember. That kid studied his moves for a year trying to figure out how to beat him, And the kid only had like 20 fights under his belt, and Lurdzilla's fought like 130 fights or something like that. And the kid beat him in a split decision, which of course that means the referee, not the referee, but the judges, are putting some subjectivity in it, maybe. But the fact that he could be studied and fought, I think anybody can be beaten.
I'm not saying anyone can't be beaten because Sanchez lost fights, but not that many. And a lot of the times their losses on decisions. Like I'm telling you, he's a freak of nature. And there's just certain things that, like I said, it's a mix versus nature versus nurture. You see what I'm saying? You have to have good training, but also someone like Deontay Wilder who can go to a boxing gym for 6 months and become a pro fighter and knock out dudes who've been training for 20 plus years. That speaks to the power of what nurture is. You know what I mean? And Dragon Ball gets into a lot of this shit. This is why I love the fucking show.
Well, I was going to reference that as well with the Dragon Ball. Like Goku gets beaten all the time, but he finds a way to come back and beat everyone.
Yeah, well, and a lot of times he's fighting people who are naturally strong, like say Frieza, never trained. And Goku comes, he has a nature to want to train and seek those challenges, and his nature is to get more powerful. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why he's able to, with his nurture, beat people. Actually, that's what the Goku versus Vegeta fight's about. Vegeta was born at a height, and he says no amount of training can overcome this gap. You see what I'm saying? But that's because that Goku has that nature that has that nature that Sanchez has. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. There's just certain people
But why
out
can't
there
you
who
train your mind to think differently, to have that? Like you look at something
I don't
in
know.
life. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. There's always a possibility. There's always a way if you apply yourself. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm not a biologist, but there are certain people who are just born light years ahead in certain areas. This is why a lot of people I mean, like Einstein, right? Many people studied light and shit like that, but it took a real fucking autist to be like, well, light isn't relative. The nature of the universe is. What the fuck? How'd you make that logical jump? But it's true. You see what I'm saying?
You're 100% right. But my argument is, why can't I think like that as well? Even though I'm not at the moment in the moment, but why can't I later on think like that?
I mean, how do you know you don't?
Well, that's what I'm trying to say, is how do you know you can or can't without having a go?
The only way to know is to do it. And I agree with you on that. The only way to know is to hop in the ring and figure it out.
And also, when it comes to those big things, like, how do you know what you're saying is right or wrong, or what?
Wait, what was that?
Well, how do you know when you come into those big things, like, you know what you're talking about with anything? Like, how do you know the way you're doing it is right or wrong?
Well, when it comes to fighting, there really is no right or wrong, which is another reason why I like it. But the only way you know if it's right or wrong is if you are fucking the last man standing. But
but I mean, and also how like luck, where does that come into it? Oh, well, I just did a flying back elbow by accident and it fucking smashed this guy on the ground. Like,
no, there's also a big element of luck too. This is how I explain fighting, right? Fighting is just percentages, right? If I sit here and I kick the bag 500 times a day, all that does is give me an extra 5% chance of winning any given fight. Joe Blow up the street can come and knock out Sanchai, given the correct circumstances. I'm not saying that luck isn't part of it, but I'm not saying that, learning isn't part of it either. I'm just saying that a big part of it, actually, and they can outweigh each other. I would say even for every person, it's different, right? So for someone like Floyd Mayweather, hard work is a big part of his philosophy. You know what I mean? That weighs more for him than someone like Amir Khan, who's just naturally fast. Like, when it comes to luck, Danny Garcia knocked out Amir Khan in a losing fight. Danny Garcia was like behind every single round. Amir Khan was just lighting him the fuck up. And then he closed his eyes and threw a left hook and knocked Amir Khan out for good.
Well,
of course.
Dan, not to get too far away from Alita, but I did have an observation, about, Floyd Mayweather when he fought, the Irish fighter. What's his name again? They fought a boxing match. No, they fought a boxing match. Just not
McGregor.
McGregor, yeah, Conor McGregor, not Conor McGregor. But anyway,
Conor
he fought
McGregor, the Irish guy.
Yeah, he fought him in a boxing match, and it was competitive for how many rounds, and then he ended up losing.
No, that fight was not competitive. That is
it was. It wasn't competitive, I guess, in the fact that Floyd Mayweather probably knew he was going to win, But think about this. Now, that was in the boxing ring. Now let's go over to the octagon. Let him fight. Let him fight McGregor. Under MMA rules.
See, this is where I have the controversial opinions that people told me I was crazy for, but I've been right almost every time we've put these matches up, right? So first of all, in that fight between McGregor and Mayweather, that wasn't competitive. I've seen Floyd Mayweather pushed by Marcos Maidana. That's Floyd Mayweather getting pushed. Floyd Mayweather was trying to entertain the crowd. He was making it, is he going to get me? Is he going to get me? No. But Floyd Mayweather is not even close to being pushed. Floyd Mayweather walked McGregor down in the last couple of rounds. You know what I mean? How
would they do in the octagon though? I believe McGregor had beat him in the octagon.
So, and this is where I get controversial, right? Because here's the thing: if they fought tomorrow in the octagon, of course, because Mayweather has no basis for grappling, he has no basis for wrestling or anything like that. Kicking, he doesn't have that. He's gonna because
Mayweather would smash him tomorrow because McGregor's legs fucked.
Okay. Hypothetically, if McGregor didn't have an injury,
and that's because McGregor didn't respect striking good enough. But that's a whole different rant. But no. But when it comes to there's a lot of things in boxing that are good for boxing, but are harmful in other sports, and I learned that the hard way when I transitioned. But here's the thing: if they set up a fight through a contract, there's a much better chance that Mayweather would win than people are giving him a shot for. As I said before, Mayweather has unnatural ring IQ. The man cannot read, but he can read a ring like no other motherfucker on this planet. You see what I'm saying? Like
But a
it's like
boxing
when they
ring's
say there's
square,
different
it's not
types
an
of
octagon.
IQ, right?
Can you read that?
It's pretty much the same thing. But you know what I mean? But but you see what I'm saying? Like there's different kinds of intelligence, right? You know what I mean? And Mayweather's intelligence aren't I guess mathematical or grammar and things like that, but it's fighting. So I think he would pick up on grappling just to the point of being competent.
If he trained for it, because now he couldn't
would,
do it.
Of course, if the fight was tomorrow, but that's not how they're going to do the fight. They're going to do the fight. Mayweather's going to put in his contract. I want the fight to be a year out, and then he's going to use his billions to hire the best trainers for what his plan's going to be. His plan is probably going to be something like sprawl and brawl. I'm not going to fight him on the ground. We're going to stand up, and I'm going to learn how to check kicks, and I'm going to box him to a decision. There you go. You know what I mean? I think that he has a much better chance of winning than people give him credit for.
Maybe, but I think McGregor would have a better chance of beating him in the octagon than he would in the ring.
McGregor will never beat him in the ring. There's almost no MMA fighter that would ever beat a boxer.
No, I don't think so either. I agree with you on that. But I think what I'm saying is in the octagon, McGregor would have a better chance of winning than he does in the ring. That's all. Yeah. Okay, well, let me bring it back to Alita again. I want to get to that last bullet, about Alita. What is it about her that you like? I mean, is it she's a waifu, a warrior, or both? I mean, Angelus and I kid Dan all the time about Alita being a better waifu than Android 18, and we have fun with that. But
she is.
Yeah, I agree with you. But anyway, but I guess Dan's gonna try to convince me if we watch more Dragon Ball. But anyway, but what is it about her that you like the most? That she's a waifu or warrior? I like her better as a warrior myself, because I think she's a better warrior than she is a waifu. That's just my opinion, but
I think the warrior part of her makes her a terrible waifu. Like out of those things that takes away from the waifu part of it, because of her gonna just destroy you and kick your ass if you do anything.
She can destroy me in bed anytime she wants.
Okay.
Bruh, she's mechanical. She will break your pelvis. This is not a pineapple.
Well, the thing of it is, though, about her is, the thing about her is
the fucking quote of the stream.
Yeah, it is.
She will break your pelvis. She's not a pineapple.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. Her as a waifu, she was pretty good with Hugo. I mean, Hugo's a little shit, in my opinion, but she was pretty good with him in terms of being gentle with him, Now, I think if he pissed her off real bad, that might challenge things a little bit,
Well, she says exactly that. Don't piss me off.
Yeah, exactly. See, I think that's why I think she's a better warrior than she is a waifu myself. What do you?
I'm just saying, if Hugo, like, if they got together and like she caught him cheating, like,
shit,
he would not have a head. Like,
yeah,
that would be like last order good punch quality. Just he would be red mist. Like that's where
hurts a hay on.
That's because Hugo's a bitch and like doesn't know when he's got something good like Alita. See, I would.
Yeah, but to Kunstler's point, though, that hurts a hay on if he catches him cheating. That's going to be all for Hugo.
What if she said it was me or the pineapple, Dave? Which way would you go, mate?
Oh, that's a good question.
He's going to have all the memories that he had with the pineapple. You look at the pineapple like, oh, man.
Pineapple. Oh, Dave be split down the fucking middle. He needed a Davo too, so that one can have the pineapple and one can have the
Depends. I clone myself. No, if someone told me that you can only have all the pineapple pizza in the world or an Alita sequel, of course I'd choose Alita.
Oh, absolutely.
Pineapple pizza can go fuck itself. There you go. You heard me say it.
What?
That's the quote of the stream now.
It really is.
This one-upmanship is amazing.
I don't know. I don't think I'm in it yet.
But
Yeah, it's not really I wouldn't even say agree to disagree, but rather just a different aspect, or not even a different aspect, but a different point of view or a different way of looking at it. But it's because she's a warrior that makes her a better waifu. Because, like, for me personally, I'm not the kind of person that would just go out and cheat someone. If I like and generally attracted to a leader or anyone that I'm with, then it's like a wife fix something that isn't broken sort of thing.
Yeah.
And the fact that I can like sit back and relax and know that if anyone tries anything with a leader, she would just pile drive their face into the pavement, and I don't have to worry about it because she can look after herself. She can take care of herself, so I don't have to worry about anyone trying to mug her or like steal a handbag or shit like that, because she'd pound them into the pavement.
Yeah, it'd be a mistake. Yeah.
Well, the list of things you can't do twice. Include that.
Just a fan. I'm gonna agree with that comment, right? Especially in the manga. I really liked that in the beginning of the manga. He was Kashiro showed all the good traits Alita would have as a partner. Washing the laundry and all that shit and taking care of her when she's drunk, and then she just basically gets fucked in the ass by karma itself and ends up being jaded and shit like that. But here's the thing: I see her. I see her as less of a waifu. And this is why we had that little joking debate about Android 18 versus Alita. Alita went from trying to be waifu to jaded, and now she's stuck as warrior. Whereas 18 went from juvenile delinquent warrior to waifu. She settled in the other direction, and now you have to pay her in order to fight. She won't fight unless you're paying her fucking money. And it's not that the two are mutually exclusive, right? You've got plenty of, like Karate Hottie, Michelle Watterson. She's a mother and a wife, and she is a pro UFC fighter. You know what I mean? Yeah. But when it comes to which one leans in which direction, you know what I mean? Alita has become a lot more cold-hearted. You know what I mean? Especially after that tuned art. She's not a very nice person. I guess in Last Order she softens up a lot. But
I got something to say. She doesn't let you go. She doesn't let you die. That's it.
Well, if you're her partner, she's going to do everything she can to protect you. If you're her partner, that's what.
Losing an eye, an arm, and a leg, and you let a message be that you were going to die and take your father with you. I'm not sure what to make of that.
Well, you live in the future, you just get a cyborg arm put on, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or if you're Berserker Alita in the movie, you just fucking grow it back.
You know what? To Den's point, not that I agree with Den that she's not a good waifu, but I would say this is that she was kind of with Hugo in the middle there of the movie, and she was good waifu or whatever you'd have there. But at the end, after she loses Hugo, you do see a coldness in her in that locker room, don't you? When she comes rolling out. Points that Damascus blade at Zalem rather. You get the feeling that she's jaded even right then. At least I get that feeling.
And jaded.
Not jaded, but affected.
She was furious. She was fucking furious, and she was vengeful. Like she's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. You fucked me up. Now it's your turn. Novi.
So I agree with that.
Here's the thing I'm going to be controversial about, too. Listen, y'all are going to fucking hate me for this. And I know soldiers and everything, right? Plenty of soldiers in my family. But at a certain point, right, to a certain degree, the jadedness, that kind of shit, at a certain degree, you kind of let it happen to yourself. The bitterness, you know what I mean? And I think that's kind of a lesson that Alita was learning. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be as sensitive as I can about it because, like I said, I've got soldiers in my family. People who've seen and been through a lot of shit. You know what I mean? And a couple of them are fucking jaded ass people. But to a certain degree, to a certain extent, you kind of let it happen. And I think that's what was going on with Alita. You know what I mean? She kind of let herself become cold, and then had to learn through Figure 4 that doesn't really get you anywhere. You know what I mean? Even like, I mean, with what was happening with Yog, right? You know, he was crying and he was terrified, and she fucking pistol whips him and says, "Stop being a bitch." And Figure 4 is like, "Hey, stop it." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
she learned a lot from Figure 4 in that regard.
Yeah.
Well, it was 8 years of being a hostage.
I'm not saying that she didn't have a good reason. I'm just saying that that is to a certain degree. You know what I mean? It's kind of something that you accept. You know what I mean? You accept this dark outlook. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Honestly, that's one of the reasons why I freaking love her character is because of the cracks, because of the flaws, because of the humanness of the character. Because these are all things that if we were to go through those certain circumstances, we would handle things a hell of a lot worse than that.
Yeah. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying it's a positive or a negative. As I said, I love the shades of gray in the story. I'm just saying, like, you know, just as a little bit of a character study, you know, there's to a certain degree, you know, the jaded aspect. I hate to say it because it sounds so bad. To a certain degree, as small as it is, it's a choice. You know what I mean? And how angry you become at life is to a certain degree is a choice. And she became very fucking angry. You know what I mean? She became a very angry person for a while. You know, so I just say that takes away a little bit of the waifu aspect, you know, whereas 18, she was pretty jaded, you know, but she was more just not caring, I guess. Apathetic was the way it is. You know what I mean? And she kind of like fought against that nature to become better, I guess. I don't know. It's just an observation.
When did 18 fight Vegeta? When did that? Well, you're going to show me that eventually.
Yeah, you'll see it eventually.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to that. Oh, we lost Dizzy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I really hate to sound real. I probably sounded really bad saying that last thing I said, but I said, I think that just makes the story more interesting, though. You know what I mean? Is the fact that she, you know, got that down and was able to overcome it. You know, and soldiers are able to overcome this all the time too. You know, you see soldiers work through their shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
I think that's one of the things I like about her too. I mean, she's not perfect. You know, well, it's like you said, she goes through a whole lot of shades of gray when she's, you know, going through the manga. She is doing a lot of that. She's not one thing. She's not goody two shoes all the time.
No.
You know, that's one of the things I like about her. She's like human. You know, that's what I like about her, you know.
Well, and all the good and all the fucked up ways too. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think again that's why it's so relatable. Is I think you can look into her as a character as deep as you can look into yourself because you hear her like in the manga you read the thought bubbles like you're in her head.
Yeah.
So you're seeing it from her perspective through her thoughts, which again, it's not something you can do in a movie. Like you can't. There's no thought bubbles to read. You have to try to portray it with body language and through how the story carries. But and that's why, like in the manga, there's so many thought bubbles. There's so many things where you get the nuance of why she's thinking or exactly what she's thinking and why she's thinking it. So it's much more intimate of getting to know that character in that way.
Yeah. You know, Ash Blackwind.
Novels are the same way. You get inside the character. You often read a movie novel and you go, oh, that's what they were thinking. It really wasn't obvious when I watched the movie. Yeah,
exactly. Well, you get that feeling from the novelization too, don't you?
Exactly. That was what I was saying. And the fact that that Pat Cadigan has written so many novelizations for movies, she knows that trope and that method and that way of expanding the universe by writing the novelization, which I think is really good.
You know, Ash Blackwind has a good observation why he thinks, you know, Alita is the perfect waifu. And of course, that's his opinion. But that, you know, in the movie, she was willing to give her life to Hugo. That's pretty damn good right there. You know, I mean, that's waifu quality stuff right there. You know what I'm saying?
Not the only time.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, that was his thought. You know, I guess I agree with him. I still think she's a better warrior than a waifu, but you know, I mean, you know, I think, you know, if she was,
people don't want to destroy stuff all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, becoming a big blue energy god, it's pretty boring. Trust me.
You mean like Dr. Manhattan? You mean? Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, any more thoughts on any of these points? Because
I think I ran Dizzy off with that last thing I said. I think I might have pissed him off.
No, I don't
Sorry,
think so.
Dizzy.
No, I don't think so.
He might have needed his morning constitutional.
Yeah, he goes to get that black gold, you know. So, you know, that coffee. So, but any other thoughts on any of those points there, guys? Because we're past 2.5 hours, so we're gonna bring the stream to a close pretty soon.
I did have something else I wanted to add, but it's not quite directly related to the topic, but it's in sort of the same area. Is manga and anime. I've been watching quite a few anime recently. I got back into it and catching up. Like, Jesus Christ, it's been maybe 15 years since I really was watching much anime. So there's a lot of shit out there to watch. And sort of looking at what actually tells a better story, the anime or the manga. And I'm actually finding that a lot of mangas seem a lot weaker than their resultant animes. Like the animes,
well, sometimes it's a trial and error.
It can be,
but trial and error.
Just from what I've been watching, anime quality seems to have improved a lot. Like the translation, they actually improve things in the translation. Like I think that the anime of Claymore actually feels better. Like it feels more storyful than the manga has to me so far. And I've also been, I was banging on about a certain scientific railgun and how much I liked it. And I'm reading the manga for that now. And I don't know whether it's the translation, but the anime just works so much better than the manga has for me so far. So I was just sort of noticing that I think anime's come a long way, and I'd really love to see what they could, like a proper Alita anime could do. Like I think maybe the manga would still outdo the anime in this case because it's so damn good.
Well, definitely the manga
like
does
try.
Yeah, the manga right now definitely outdoes the Alita anime. Although I like the Alita anime, but yeah, I think the manga is way ahead of the Alita anime, though.
Well, the Alita anime was a quick two episode thing in the 90s. I'm talking about if they did it now. I'm projecting forward to what we could possibly expect from like an Alita anime series.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I think, especially if they got Kishiro involved, I think it could be fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
I
thought Kishiro hated anime.
he doesn't hate anime. He hated what they did to the first two.
Right, he didn't agree.
Yeah.
Well, because the reason why they did that, though, part of it is because he didn't want to be involved with making an anime. I remember reading that he had no interest in making an anime. He wanted a Western film.
Well, he got a Western film. So
he got one.
Like 20 years later.
Yeah.
You know, these things take time, man. You can't rush them all.
Unfortunately.
You can't rush perfection like James Cameron.
You can't.
Well, I
think you've got too many qualifiers in that statement. You just can't rush James Cameron. He won't be rushed.
Well, I hope they don't wait 20 years to do a sequel because I'll be in the old folks' home if they do that.
I might miss it, and I'm not even that old. But I was just gonna let you all know. I might be writing something on the script, but I'll be out of town next week. That's my summer vacation.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
You should come on tomorrow's stream.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do.
Be a guest.
Okay.
Yeah. No, seriously.
All right. I'm just visiting my parents over in PA, so. It's something I'm doing when I get my week off of work for the summer.
Where they are Chaos, are they in Eastern PA or are they?
Oh, Western, like where
I meant
Penn State-
Western. Yeah,
well,
I meant Western.
Central, I think. Penn State University.
Yeah, I know where that is.
Stay away from the showers at that place. Stay away from the locker
They're
room.
out. I'm going to the house out in the countryside. There's like nothing out there except woods.
Yeah.
That's good. I
My
like
father
that.
really likes the woods. It's good.
So he lives in Happy Valley.
Well,
Yeah.
Happy Forest, more like
That's
it.
what they call it anyway.
It's close to Amish country. I visited there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to bring it to a close pretty soon here, but I do want to just bring up a little bit about, and I don't think we missed anything. What do y'all think? Anybody have any last thoughts?
Hashtag
Happy
happy birthday,
birthday,
Rosa.
Rosa.
Oh, yes. We had that at the beginning, but yeah, happy birthday, Rosa. You know, I mean, that's, she's our queen, man. She's the one that made it happen. So
And if you're listening, you're welcome on either of these streams anytime.
you bet. And of course, there she is. There's our pretty lady right there. She's the one. I hope she had a great birthday today. I just really do. So anyway, why is Image here? Of course, you guys know why, because I'm running the stream because I like it, and I'm only here for our girl and the Alita Army, of course. So anyway, see, Maxie, you're going to be the host for tomorrow's stream, I guess, for the Radio Chaos stream. So I didn't get a thumbnail, so this is my placeholder thumbnail. But you want to talk about this just a little bit? I mean, it's kind of self-evident, I guess, but
Yeah, well, we're going to wax lyrical about how wonderful Rosa is, much like we did today, but probably with a bit more detail.
Yes.
Still chasing up some guests who want to wish Rosa a happy birthday. So if you want to come on and wish Rosa a happy birthday, just hit one of us up on Twitter or put your name down on the sign-up sheet and leave your Twitter handle. We'll get the details to you, and you can come on Radio Chaos and wish Rosa a happy birthday.
yeah. Yeah, that was great today. Seeing all those tweets and all those Facebook posts. I even went on Instagram once, and they had some stuff going there. Not quite as much as Twitter though, and Facebook. But okay, guys, any last thoughts?
I guess I forgot to mention my news. You'll see the end of Gun of Martian Memory is coming next week. It should be preset.
Nice.
I'm
Nice.
just gonna finish it tonight and send it out.
Okay, yeah, we'll be
Except
on the
for
lookout for
Thursday.
that one. Yeah.
Then I'll just organize it all in order.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I got on what was that? You did a stream, I guess, last Monday, right? I got on that stream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thursday I just did the Incredible
Yeah.
Hulk.
Yeah, I didn't get on that one. I had a strength training session I had to go to. So anyway, getting ready for my second competition of the year. So
Good luck.
yeah, thank you. So anyway, I guess what we're going to do is going to wrap it up, and we're going to do our new call to action. That's going to be film those sequels, baby, and that'll be on my count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Film
those sequels, baby.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys next week, and we'll see you tomorrow.